Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, aliens and monsters of all spaces and ages and time, the 39 people watching us from all the platforms around the world. We are the podcast of underappreciated wrestling fans of P.U.W.F. Shout out to Kane the Destroyer. We love you. I'm joined today by three of the four pillars of wrestling knowledge. To my left, NXT Time host, NXT Time with D-Walk for real. How are you, sir?
I'm good, bro. Ready to talk about this shit. Hey, teach some motherfuckers some shit.
Exactly. And to my right, the wise man of the West, Mr. Joe BNCO.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing quite well, actually. Shout out to breaking news, by the way, before we even start. It has been rumored, and I found out from my sources, from my Evolve sources, that Thea Hale has been seen in the second set of tapings that were today, actually. And by the way, I got invited to those tapings. So in the future, Coquito is going to be in the background and Evolve. So that's good. That's the dream. But it has been rumored and speculated that Thea Hale is going to Evolve again. So before we even get to the main course, and I know, Joe, you go first.
Go what?
What's your thoughts on Thea Hale now going to Evolve? And by the way, I want to say this too. It has been documented on my Twitter. Check out Ricky Reactions on Twitter. I called this, not even on Twitter, by the way, on Instagram, where I made a video on Instagram saying that Adriana Rizzo, Thea Hale, and Jada Parker need to go to Evolve. And then one day later, motherfuckers want to make okay. That's what I want to say about that.
Right. No, I mean, and I feel like she needed to because she was kind of lost.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people on NXT that are lost right now, females especially.
Mm-hmm.
Jada Parker's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
She should definitely go back to it. She'd probably go to Evolve also.
Yeah.
The only problem with
Natty's not gonna last. You know that.
But the only problem with sending these NXT stars to Evolve is you're taking space from the up and coming talent.
True. But it's a like crock pot of PC and ID talents. So they get I've learned from watching getting the history of takeovers and watching them. The best matches was a indie wrestler against an indie wrestler in NXT television, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't rarely, and I will say rarely, the Velveteen Dream shined, who was 100% a PC talent.
Yeah.
100%. But there's, but I understand what you mean, Joe. Dennis, you're the purveyor of NXT Time with D-Walk, the man who loves butts. What are your thoughts on Thea Hale going to Evolve?
I'm disappointed, but at the same time, if this is gonna make her better, yeah. But to me, she was already North American champion. Mistake or not, she's still North American champion. To me, you should have like people like Lizzie Rain, or you should have like newcomers going to Evolve. Thea Hale, we know Thea Hale could wrestle. We know Thea Hale, the potential she could do. But it's just they're not giving it to her, so why should she get demoted to Evolve? Like I said, she's already champion in NXT. Why?
Okay. I love you like a brother, so I will let it pass that you said demoted to Evolve because that's not a demotion.
I don't mean it like that. No, I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that. I mean like, to me, Evolve should be where
like this. You mean like that? Yeah, he means like he's gone. He's gone.
Okay, well, Evolve, and to defend D-Walk, Evolve is a demotion. Evolve is a demotion.
You look at an apple.
LFT, the Evolve, that's going backwards. NXT is supposed to be the step up from Evolve.
And they suck.
And then you're supposed to go from NXT to the main roster.
Yes. No, I get it. I mean, let's be real. Like most of the people that were in Evolve get snatched to NXT really quick, or the AAA. Jack Cartwheel, Elio LaFleur, Dorian Van Dux, Tristan Angels. Thank the gods, fucking Starboy hasn't been picked up yet. He's our little treasure boy right now. But this is the reason we're going to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen, and talk about NXT as an introspective from 2012 to 2020. Mr. D-Walk and Joe will go from 2020 and above because they watched it. I was poor, so I didn't watch NXT during that time, and I didn't really give a shit. But before we continue, I want to give a shout out to the family, and even this guy, Influential Sports, for making the NXT Black and Gold versus the NXT 2026 debate, because it inspired me to talk about this history lesson. Because again, various plot holes, various just contextual cues. It was all over the fucking place, and most of those kids, and I call them children because they're under the age of 25, 28. They were technically 10 to 12 years old if they were consistently watching NXT. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I was in my 30s when I was watching NXT. And I say this religiously watching NXT from 2013 to 2019. I kind of, after Cross, I'm like, all right, I'm done. You guys are just not at my fucking level. But
yeah, and yes. if you go talk about us, make sure you tag us so we could watch it and see the shit though. Like, don't do no sneak dissing and shit. Like, let us see the shit so we can give our opinion too. Like I said, at the same time, this should be no argument. This should be no debate. We should be content creators. We should be putting shit together, not going against each other. We don't want to talk. Come on, bro.
Yes,
grow up.
That's why I want to say thank you, Eds, for inspiring us to make this video. This is not a plagiarism. This is not a debate. This is not going to be an NXT Black and Gold versus 2026 debate because, ladies and gentlemen, aliens and monsters, there is no debate. And we're going to show you that NXT Black and Gold will always be the better brand because it was made by somebody, and after they passed, they milked it until it was dry. So they did. After Dusty died, they milked that motherfucker for 4 more years. And it was because only of the formula that Dusty made that they survived. Once they started becoming the brand against AEW, it just kept going downhill and downhill. And then you got the fucking black color. We'll talk about that later.
But NXT was Triple H's baby.
It was Dusty's baby first. And then Triple H and Shawn Michaels learned from Dusty and kept it going for 3 years. They learned the formula. Bring someone in new, make a story, continue, repeat over and over and over again.
So what if Dusty Rhodes would have lived for another couple of years? Where do you see NXT?
Better than what it is now. Way better than what it is now, honestly.
It would.
Yeah, I mean, why'd they abandon the Dusty Classic?
Yeah.
Why'd they abandon the Mae Young Classic?
Hey girl. Hope you're having a good day.
You know, why did they abandon those classics? I mean, that's when we really got to see who would shine in the NXT brand.
Now, Joe, I want you to start if you can. Tell me your experience of the NXT Black and Gold brand, your memories and your favorite highlights. Well, we have the clip on YouTube that I have it ready to go, but let's just talk about our experience before we get to the historical facts.
Come on, Joe.
Black and Gold was fantastic. We had the creation of the Shield. Yes. We had the creation of the Wyatt family.
Yep.
We had who else do we have? Breezango.
We had Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. We had Trent Seven.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another thing is we can't take out NXT UK either. NXT UK was part of that because NXT UK got canceled when the splatter rainbow colored NXT came out. And that's where we had Gunther and Imperium, Pete Dunne,
Rhea Ripley,
Noam Dar, Tony Storm came from NXT UK.
Rhea Ripley.
Tony Storm is a big one.
Yeah.
And not only that, back in the early NXT Black and Gold days, we also had Swerve. Isaiah Swerve Scott was in that group also.
Yeah. Well, we're jumping ahead year to year to year to year. Let's talk about the beginning of what it started, because that's why I tell people watch Evolve, because Evolve. Oh, we have 299 subscribers. One more subscriber, ladies and gentlemen. We get the 300 subscribers on the P.U.W.F channel. Come on, guys.
Let's go.
Almost there. Now, I want to say this. Evolve right now is 2012, 2014 NXT. And I say this because it took them 2 years to set the story, set the background, set the details for that when 2014 hit with the Four Horsewomen, with the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens story, with the Neville story, with Sanity, with the Wyatts, and even everything else. It had to grow.
Yeah.
And that's the point I want to say. It took 8 years for it to, like, it peaked. Yes, it peaked around 2019, 2020. But from 2012 to 2014, you were watching a show that they were learning on the fly every week. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. There's no fucking script to do this shit. So it was Dusty Rhodes every week talking about, oh, my baby boy, Dusty Rhodes, he's a little baby boy. Let me go to work. And then he goes to work. And every week he did that. Every week. And when the Four Horsewomen came out, revolutionary. When Paige came out, revolutionary. When freaking Kevin Owens betrayed his best friend, which they put it in the timeline, was devastating. When Rico retired against Cesaro in NXT, it was legendary. 2 out of 3 falls with Sami Zayn, legendary. Crazy fucking characters. Like
Undisputed Era.
Huh?
Undisputed Era.
Undisputed, and that was 2018-19. Like I'm going back to the Vaudevillains. I'm going to Enzo and Cass. I'm going to Carmella, Buddy Murphy, Buddy and Riley with Alexa
Bliss. The
Ascension. Who are, by the way, the longest tag team to ever hold the belt in the history, even to now. 396 days. No other tag team has ever beaten that record since. Shit.
What's up?
No, but D-Wall, what are your thoughts on NXT Black and Gold and your memories before we get to the history lesson?
It was more, to me, Black and Gold was more of storytelling. It was more every week. It was, hey, I'm excited. I'm at the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
This shit now is like a hit and miss. Like, it's like fucking a hit and miss.
Yeah.
You don't know how it was. Like, it might be good this week, might be trash next week, and most likely it's gonna be trash the next couple of weeks. But the Black and Gold, it was always, like I said, and it involved everybody in there. Ricochet, Velveteen Dream, Keith Lee. It involved every division, the women division, the men division, tag team division. Everybody had their time.
Yep. And it was fun. Like, everyone ate, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't a fact of like, no, everyone had a shine, even if it took a year to get there. There were years into a storyline with that, ladies and gentlemen. Years. Because they knew that, hey, it's going to work right now, but we got, dude, the Legend of Blue Pants took them 2 years for her to finally win a match. 2 years. She's a librarian in AEW, ladies and gentlemen. You can look her up.
But also look at the stars that were in NXT that are now stars in AEW too.
Yes. And the
Marina Shafir.
Yeah.
Marina Shafir is one of them.
That's true.
Tony Storm, Dean Ambrose star John Moxley.
Yeah.
Another one. These are huge stars. Leo Rush, Ricochet
too. Like, if they had to walk for them to run. Ladies and gentlemen, keep talking. I'm gonna get something real quick.
Don't forget about DIY either, or Candice LeRae.
We'll talk about that too. We'll talk about the DIY. And
what about FTR?
FTR also.
The revival.
They were the revival, yeah, back then. So that's what I mean. Like, the revival alone was fucking awesome. Let's see if I can get this real quick. There we go.
Who else we had? Did we say Dijak?
No,
yes,
we didn't. Dijak is another one.
Who the fuck else?
Damian Priest.
Yeah.
But that again, that's 2019. That's 2019. Let's, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to show you now is 2 chapters. Chapter 1 and Chapter 3. Chapter 2 is just remuddled. Chapter 1 will describe what happened between 2012 to 2015. Chapter 3 will show you all the stars that came out, and the fact, ladies and gentlemen, at one point, NXT had up to 8 tag teams in 1 year, and the ultimate 16 to 20 tag teams have been in NXT over the last 8 years. 16 to 20. Some of them didn't work. I get that, but they were there. Like, and ladies and gentlemen, press K. Okay, K. Here we go. Let's go. See if this works. Tell me if you guys can hear it. Not yet. What's there?
NXT originally began as a game show in 2010 in which talent would compete
Give a shout out to Super Kick Studios,
in ridiculous challenges, and it was a device to determine who would get a WWE contract.
See if this works.
Through an elimination-based format, even though most of the wrestlers
Too short, guys. Shout out to Jeff Liftman.
were already contracted under Florida Championship Wrestling. After a few iterations and moderate success, the NXT brand was rebranded into WWE Developmental. FCW was no more, but the crew and wrestlers moved over. WWE decided to go from this dingy old warehouse to Full Sail University, the place that would become the canvas for what NXT was about to paint over the next near decade. The production value was increased. The show was now altered to give competitors more exposure. Many talents went back to the drawing board and rejuvenated themselves from their presentations to their characters. And then on June 20th, 2012, the first episode of this new NXT aired. It was called The Gateway to the Future, and the future, according to the WWE, was now. Almost all the FCW talents made their way to this new brand. It had its own distinct look with a big, bold black and yellow logo. The arena only fit 400, which gave it a community feeling as many people would see each other during tapings and become good friends. Dusty Rhodes was the on-screen general manager as well as a mentor to talent behind the scenes. He was the guy who helped make these stars the best version of themselves. He truly helped them establish the why. Why were they in pro wrestling? And when Dusty worked with these people, it came to the forefront on TV. And of course, they had their own cast of characters. The push early on was to showcase young talent with distinct looks. Guys like Bo Dallas, The Ascension, Bray Wyatt, Leo Kruger, Paige, Mike Dalton, Biggie Langston, and Seth Rollins. The same Seth Rollins who would become the first ever NXT champion. In August of 2012, the Gold Rush tournament was announced. This was an 8-man single elimination tournament to crown NXT's first ever champion. Seth Rollins etched his name in history, and he, as well as the brand, never looked back. One of the real gems in WWE's developmental system was Rollins, so it only made sense for him to be the first. You saw a woman get more TV time and be treated as an important factor of the show. They weren't relegated to 2-minute matches. They could build their characters and have original stories, which lasted multiple weeks with reasonable payoffs. The first true woman star for NXT was Paige. Her character was the anti-diva, rebelling against all the norms of the typical WWE divas wrestler you'd see on Raw or SmackDown. A year after NXT's relaunch, the NXT Women's Championship was announced, and this one was also contested for in a tournament. Paige ended up being the winner. NXT at this time only had singles titles until Shawn Michaels introduced the brand new NXT Tag Team Championships. Tag team wrestling would become a staple of NXT. A wide variety of teams went through there, and the matches and storylines were sometimes better than what was happening in the main event. The team of Oliver Gray and Neville became the first ever NXT Tag Team Champions when they beat the Wyatt family. There wasn't anything too crazy when it came to storylines or deep-rooted feuds early on. As someone who rewatched every single episode, it was a lot of nothing for the most part, but we're still early on. We started to see graduates of NXT succeed on the main roster almost immediately. The first success story was The Shield. They pulled double duty, alternating between shows following their debut in late 2012. In 2012 and 2013, there was a huge connection to the main roster. Talents would come down to work with the next generation. The show would see the Intercontinental and U.S. Championship defended on it. People like Randy Orton, Cesaro, CM Punk, AJ Lee, among others, rocked up, and it really gave the brand some more buzz and credibility. Very much so, this whole operation was still a developmental. In July of 2013, Charlotte debuted in NXT along
I paused it right there because I want to talk about that. In 2013, you guys remember when Titus O'Neil went down there and Cesaro? Sorry, a second.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I want to bring up. Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up because 2013 was a special year because, again, we had Regal get retired by Cesaro. We had Titus O'Neil come out of nowhere and be a villain. We never saw Titus O'Neil as a villain in the main roster ever.
Yeah.
In NXT, he was a dick. And I like that. And they started doing that again in the new NXT, but it's not the same. Like, you come to NXT, you're still kind of like, oh, I'm kind of an heel, but I'm still a heel in the main roster. And what are you doing there? That's why I bring up with Joe, with Evolve, it's a different timeline. It's a different fucking universe. So when you go over there, you can literally be wherever the fuck you want. And then in NXT, it wouldn't matter. Because you can still be a babyface on NXT and be a fucking chicken shit heel and Evolve. That's what, thank you. The Three Musketeers, you know nothing better. Thank you, Cardell. I love you. But the fact I want to say is this is the difference between NXT back then and now. In NXT 2013, around that time, they gave you a veteran to fight with because they gave you trust. We trust you to do this program. We trust you to do this. So go out there and do it. And let's see what happens. So, Joe, what are your thoughts on that? Around 2013, they started bringing veterans into – and also, if it wasn't for AJ Lee coming down to NXT, Bayley would have never got the hugger gimmick. Ever.
I feel that they were bringing veterans in because they wanted to test the new talent, the new up and coming talent's abilities against veterans. It also would bring more eyes to the product.
True. From a game show to this, 1 year difference, they're trying. And this is 2013, where Vince wasn't really giving a fuck. Around 2016, he started giving a fuck in a sense, but around here, he didn't really care about anything.
Wouldn't the original NXT be considered the Nexus?
Yes.
Because then that was a game show.
Yeah.
But they wound up forming a group, which was very different.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I understand what they were doing, and I feel like they still try to replicate that formula. Because if you look at when we go into the Rainbow Splatter era, they brought the New Day in, they brought Dolph Ziggler in, they brought Bobby Roode back, they brought Samoa Joe back, they brought Finn Balor back. They were trying to relive, like use the stars that were already up and coming, but already made it to the main roster, and they brought them back down to get more eyes on the product.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a weird coincidence. Almost 10 years later, they're using the same formula again, whereas in 2026, they're trying to do the same formula again. But they don't understand this one formula worked because it was in a different timeline, different area, different circumstances. You can't do the same thing twice in a different area. You just can't. It was in Full Sail. Went from Full Sail to the Performance Center. And Evolve is in like a smaller version of the Performance Center, which looks like fucking Full Sail, which is fucking weird. Like, NXT is now the Raw and SmackDown of NXT, whereas Evolve is the NXT of WWE, which is fucking weird. But let's cue off your thoughts on, again, Titus O'Neil coming in, Cesaro. The fact that Cesaro retired Regal, and I remember that match in the back of my head. That was a fucking not a bloody match, but he beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah. Hey, people forgot about Hideo Tamama.
Hideo Itami.
Hideo Itami. Yeah, people forgot about him. What, Finn Balor? This went in NXT when Finn Balor when he used the demon gimmick more often. Not one every 3, 4, or 5 years. This one he used it frequent and yeah.
Was Dakota Ibushi in the original NXT too?
No, he was only in the Cruiserweight Classic.
I thought he was in NXT.
No, well, they used him for only once. That's it, and then that's it, just a rental.
They should have tried to keep him.
Yeah,
I know, but he didn't want to stay. Remember, they gave him a shitload of money. He just did this because someone asked him. He said, "All right, I'll do it as a favor." He didn't.
I don't blame him for not. I don't blame him for not wanting to stay. Look what they do to the Japanese talent.
yeah.
No, I know, but no. Here's the difference between NXT Black and Gold and then. They treat Japanese talent like trash in the new era. Yes. However, in NXT, they actually respected the talent. It depended on them. It wasn't dependent on us. It was dependent on them to put themselves over. Like Asuka had to put herself over. Kenta had to put. Tommy had to put himself over. Ira Shirai, Kairi Sane had to put themselves over. That was the point.
Yeah, but once they get to the main roster, they get fucked over.
Yeah.
But here's the difference. Yeah, but you know what's funny? The same formula that fucked NXT over in Black and Gold is being used in the main roster somewhat. Because Javon Evans is thriving. I know you don't like that joke. Trick Williams is thriving. So Ruka is thriving. But JC Jane, not so much. And I told people
If you consider Javon thriving, then I think you need a pair of glasses.
No, okay.
Yeah.
He was in the semifinals of the King of the Ring tournament in less.
Did he win?
Up there.
Did he win? Did he win?
Because Jey Uso. If it wasn't Jey Uso,
how many championships has he held?
Back to the video.
Over his career, how many championships has he held?
Okay, fine, you win. Fine. Back to the video.
And this is my thing.
First opponent on weekly TV. He was Bailey because of what they'd eventually morph into. These were
Go on, D-Wall.
No, I can wait till after the video. I got you.
All right, let's go.
two fourths of the group that would go on to be known as the Four Horsewomen. You're always told that these four are really important, but never the why. And the why is actually pretty simple. Basically, in a smaller scale, they were what the SmackDown 6 were to SmackDown. They were the ones who everything went through.
The hell?
I don't know.
They
were
One
definitely
way or another. Everything revolved around these four. Tag team.
Me. There we go. Should be working now.
Rivalries, one-on-one rivalries, championship matches, betrayals, you name it, it was up to these four. The first person who debuted out of these four was Sasha, and it took her about a year to really differentiate herself, but once she found her stride, she rode a wave of momentum and she never looked back. Bailey was a shy fangirl who slowly gained confidence and won over the fans. Becky Lynch came later on and had a generic Irish gimmick, which she come out doing an Irish jig. Thankfully, it only lasted a few weeks, but she was the last one to make her debut compared to the other three. But through the creative team's writing, they were able to get her on par with the rest of them. Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Bailey were instrumental to the rise of NXT and the re-rise of women's wrestling. Yes, I said re-rise because despite what WWE might tell you, there was an amazing women's division before these four. They just killed it off themselves and they don't want to admit it. With them, there were also other women's competitors important to NXT's early years, like Summer Rae, Emma, Audrey Marie, who very few of you know. The big development by the end of 2013 was the women's division and the tag team division. But also in 2013 came NXT's first big star. And I'm not talking Rollins, I'm not talking Big E, Bo Dallas, or even Paige. This is the man who helped the brand take off. And I think a lot of people have forgotten just how much he contributed to the online craze of NXT.
Are we pausing?
Okay. I wanted to pause right there, and I know you guys say something to my girlfriend saying Javon Evans defender.
No, but no, this is what I got to say. This is what I was gonna say afterwards. Yeah. It wouldn't have made sense for Javon Evans to win
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually he had to fight Roman Reigns. That'll be a squash. Like, let's say this.
He would have had to fight. He would have had to fight Oba first.
Yeah. Well,
but they would finish the story. You know,
No,
you
but
know,
like I
you
said,
know,
look.
you know. Go on, D-Wall.
No, like I said, they would have had two ways: let Javon win, and then let Brock Lesnar interfere and help him. But I'm hoping they don't do that because I want to see Obafemi go strong. What potentially could happen is Jey Uso win, and what if they do a triple? What if they do a Evolution on when Triple H them turned on Randy Orton? I'm just saying.
No, you know what? Okay.
I'm just saying.
Someone said this. Yeah, but someone said this in another podcast. Shout out to What's Wrong with Wrestling. Jey Uso wins. Jey Uso looks at Roman Reigns with the belt saying, okay, we're both champions. So then Civil War starts. Or like you said, Evolution, Jey wins. Then Fatu and Jimmy become a tag team. They win the tag belts. They become the new Undisputed Era. And they have the belts for like another fucking 60,000 years. Because by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I just found out that the Bloodline storyline is longer than most wars. The
It's way long. It ain't
war.
This ain't the middle of it. But all I was saying is this. You remember when Roman Reigns told Jey Uso, yeah, you'll win the King of the Ring and you'll go for Cody Rhodes' belt? Who said the same thing? Didn't Triple H tell Randy Orton that too?
Yep.
Man, didn't Triple H tell Batista that? He told Batista that.
Yep. They're just copying the Evolution storyline because they have nothing. For the fact that you have three people doing storylines, for the fact that you're using AI, you're just going to the worst decisions ever. Even shout out to Micah Misfit. Even she said it. Liv Morgan should not be in the finals of the fucking
Hell no.
Hell no. Hell no.
Why?
When are you going to showcase new talent? For Liv Morgan, you're doing the same thing you did with Alexa Bliss back in 2018 to 20. You pushed her to our faces for 3 years.
I didn't have a problem with it.
When have we seen champions compete in the King or King of the Ring? I've never seen Stone Cold have the belt and challenge in the King of the Ring. I've never seen nobody. Never. Why? This was to me, this is supposed to be for new talent. This is how you get over new talent. But
excuse me.
Hold on.
Brock Lesnar was the world champion and competed in the Royal Rumble.
That's Royal Rumble.
But that's because it's the Royal Rumble.
That's still going for a title, and it's still technically a type of tournament because you're competing against 30 other men to win a championship match.
Okay, the difference though is that King of the Ring, you can have that title forever. You won the Rumble. Oh wow, that's it. Like people can counter that. No one can counter you saying that I was a King of the Ring. King Booker can never get flack from that because he'll always be a king. That's the difference, Joe. If Jay wins come on, man, Jey Uso winning the fucking King of the Ring and then going after Cody, taking first off, we are deflecting. We are deflecting. That's for wrestling news. Let's talk about NXT. Let's talk about the fact that in 2013, and you see a picture of Big E Langston.
That's because it's Saturday.
And Jack Swagger came around that time too as well. But
yeah,
I want to give a shout out to Big E Langston. This was the 5 gimmick where he told Dusty Rhodes personally, I want to pin someone and then go up until 5. You know what Dusty said? All right, baby, do it. And it worked. Bo Dallas was the definition, was the blueprint for the most chicken shit heel in NXT. So much so, when he got in a match with Mr. Generico and lost, they had to take him out. He ran away. They took him out in a golf cart. He ran away, and he got out. I've never seen anyone get ejected from NXT ever in this new product. Ever. And that's the point I want to say. NXT back in 2013 with the Big E Langston had no right to do the 5 gimmick. But you know why? It fucking worked. it fucking worked for some weird reason. And no one has done something like that ever. Oh, we have no one's gonna say we have Obafemi. Obafemi is the guy that looks nothing like fucking like Biggie Langston. Obafemi is the guy that has a different character. He is your Velveteen Dream of 2026. A diamond in the fucking rough. A PC raised wrestler. And you got gold with him. And you got gold.
Is Apollo Crews? Did they release Apollo Crews?
Yes.
They fucked up. Imagine Apollo Crews over Femi and fucking Omis.
We'll talk about that. Because NXT back then and now is cyclical.
Yeah.
Now, Joe, do you remember? I don't think you remember this, but do you remember the wrestler Lars Sullivan?
Yep.
Joe.
Okay.
Joe, aware of it.
I say this because Lars Sullivan was
Terrible.
pushed to the moon in 2017. He had no business to be in wrestling. I just heard some podcasts. Again, shout out to what's wrong with wrestling. Also, shout out to Wrestling Super Friendos. We are the number 2 WWE Evolve post review in the world. Number 2. Number 1 is Evolve with P.U.W.F. podcast in the world. Oh, by the way, also, Fightful, you some bitches. Because what a surprise that 4 hours ago, you put out a tweet. Oh, Mason Holiday was sad, and that's why she left WWE. What a surprise that me, Evolve with P.U.W.F, posted this shit out 4 days ago.
I was going to say, it's been almost a week.
Huh?
I was going to say, you posted that almost a week ago.
Exactly. And today, they want to say that they're the exclusives. Oh, Mason Holiday. No. For one thing, I have my sources. I'm not going to say their names. I have my sources. And I was right. When I shoot from the sniper rifle, I make sure I hit 100 out of 100. So Fightful, you better acknowledge us. Be respectful. We broke the news first. We did. Ain't nobody 299 subscriber fucking. Anyway. I want to talk about this. After Rollins won the belt and left because he had to do the Shield. And by the way, the Shield always came back to NXT every few years to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So did the Wyatts.
And beat ass.
Yes. And by the way, TM61, which is the Mighty O'Neil, I want to give a shout out to those actually for the tag team. When Bo Dallas lost it, and in this video I paused it, he is going to say that the charter boy of NXT 2013 was Sami Zayn. Now, we can all agree Sami Zayn was the star, the ace of NXT. He was. He had the best 2 out of 3. If it wasn't for the 2 out of 3 falls match he had it with Cesaro, there wouldn't be eyes on NXT. Because people were talking about it back then on Twitter, like, holy shit. Like, why is NXT having the best 2 out of 3 falls match? Like, why is this happening? Because it is. No one gave a shit about Cesaro retiring Regal. They only gave a shit about this. So I want to say that, like, and let's just keep it going, and we're almost there.
NXT's first sentimental star that bled black and yellow. That man is Sami Zayn. In January of 2013, he signed with the company. He came in with a global resume as El Generico. He, alongside Cesaro, sent shockwaves online with their matches. And the whole underdog story of Sami Zayn honestly is a video of its own, but they played the long game with him and it worked. Cesaro and Sami had a 2 out of 3 falls match, which was fantastic. They got people talking about their chemistry and how this amazing match was taking place on a developmental show. As we now know, the 2 out of 3 falls match would become the NXT special in years to come. When he got his crowning moment, it felt like the whole world was behind behind Sammy. They told this deep-rooted story of Sammy where he'd face his personal demons, his friends, and most importantly, himself. He overcame all, he got his moment, and then at that exact moment, his best friend stabbed him in the back on his biggest day. That was actually in 2014, and 2014 is where I'd say NXT had their breakout year. See, 2012 and 2013 were instrumental in terms of building, introduction to different faces, bringing in titles, slowly fleshing everything out. But 2014 proved that NXT was
El nuevo Secret Atlas Dry Spray combate el 99% de las bacterias que causan.
NXT was a different animal and that they were here to stay. William Regal became the new on-screen general manager. He'd wrestled, he'd been a pro, he'd commentated, he'd done everything for the brand, and now he was the authority figure. William Regal became synonymous with the NXT brand and playing maybe the most perfect and unbiased authority figure in company history. We all remember the classic Regal announcement. It felt like every time he had something to say, he'd announce some big match, championship, or signing. And signings are exactly what we got to talk about. In the summer of 2014, WWE signed Japanese superstar Kenta to an NXT contract. The brand was now looking to build their roster and add depth to it. His first storyline was against the now titleless Ascension. They had their 343-day tag team title reign ended by the Lucha Dragons, and that record still holds up as the longest NXT tag team title reign. He was getting dominated 2-on-1, so he said he was going to bring out a tag team partner. And this partner wasn't just anyone. This was one of the biggest wrestling superstars on the planet. Fergal Devitt, the man we know today as Finn Balor, was in NXT. Sammy can be attributed as NXT's first big sentimental star. But the signing of Finn Balor was a look at things to come. He quickly rose up the ranks and became a fan favorite. Also, the signing of Kevin Steen, which made an immediate impact. They were big game hunting on free agents, and it was working for them. As one chapter closed for this brand and 2014 drew to a close, their biggest and most prominent chapter begun. NXT started touring. They started doing smaller scale shows in Cleveland, in Columbus, in San Jose, and the turnout for those shows were something that you wouldn't expect at various festivals and conventions. Leaving Orlando was a really good decision for NXT. In June of 2015, Dusty Rhodes unfortunately passed away. The man who was a mentor and integral in the building of the brand was now gone. They memorialized his passing with an annual tag team tournament called the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. On a more positive note, in online circles and among WWE fans, WWE NXT had picked up big-time credibility. It was 1 hour on the WWE Network, which launched a year previous. The stories were simple and easy to follow without the clutter attached to them. The characters were different to what you would see on Raw and SmackDown. And in this Vince McMahon industry where he for sure had a particular type and way of looking at things, NXT just let people be people. NXT looked to the indies. They looked to other companies, even overseas. They wanted to diversify their roster. On September 16, 2015, a vignette aired of this woman with colored hair in a mask. Come to find out that her name was Asuka. Kana was now in the WWE.
We'll stop it right there. Now, with the history lesson that's been told from us, the Kevin Owens story, the Neville story, the fact that Finn Balor, which by the way, he was hot. He was only in NXT for like maybe a year. That's it. And then he went to Raw, had that match with Rollins, won the belt, but messed up his shoulder. Yeah, he fucked up his shoulder. I mean, for real.
Yeah, but then he got screwed over. He never got a chance at the show.
Of course, because it was Vince. He gave you one shot, and then that one shot was done. And he's like, "Oh, you're not strong enough. You're weak," and that's what they did to him. But before that, to get Prince Devitt from the Bullet Club, because at this time, 2013 to 15, the Bullet Club was just starting to become hot. It wasn't until like AJ was over there, and then Cody was over there. Like it started blowing the fuck up.
Yeah.
We had But then when Asuka arrived, a 500+ day reign, the fact that she vacated the belt only because they were calling her up. That's it, and a fake injury. That's so, Joe. What are your thoughts on? Let's talk about the rise of the legend of Asuka, because again, no one has done that since, ever.
I just feel like she was undefeated, which is great, but at the same time, when she lost that undefeated streak, when she got called to the main roster at WrestleMania, that was kind of stupid. They should have kept the streak alive.
Yeah.
Yep.
The same way with Obafemi.
They vacated it though, so that's why I meant, like, for Asuka, they vacated the title because she had a fake injury. So it's like, so she still kept the streak. She just, fake injury.
Yeah, she kept the streak until they decided to screw her out of it.
That's true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad. It is sad because honestly, like, Asuka's reign, and I think they'll talk about this, but I'll say it myself. I watched every week of Asuka's reign because when she got there, that's on me. When she got there, she didn't know a lick of English. Nothing. Not a damn thing. And it took her a year, and Mr. NXT and basically Mr. Triple H understood, like, this woman doesn't understand, can't speak English worth a damn. So let's just put her in pool segments where she's sitting and chilling. Let her say like one sentence, and that's it. And this worked for a year, ladies and gentlemen. This worked for a year plus because she was 500 days. She fought everybody under the sun. She fought everybody in the roster to the point where Mickie James came down to try to fight her. Ember Moon, Bayley, Nikki Cross, everybody tried to fight Asuka. And they all lost. And that was the best thing about that, her reign. Nobody is ready for Asuka, and that phrase was dominant. Nobody in the roster now in NXT, nobody is even close to that aura. As much as they try to push motherfuckers, and JC Jane was a double champion. I'm guesstimating what people are going to say about this. Yes, she was a double champion, and every match and every time she was in a match, there was always a freaking interference. Always. So you cannot compare an always interference champion to a champion like Asuka that she never cheated until the final days of her reign. She never fucking cheated ever.
CBS herself.
Everybody. She beat Bayley twice. She beat fucking Nikki Cross twice. She beat both the Iconics. She beat everybody. And then when she fought Ember Moon, and the storyline that NXT put out there was NXT's Ember Moon's eclipse cannot be defeated. Asuka saw that, so the first match they had, she cheated to win. And they never had a second match because she had to vacate the title, and then they had a match and Ember Moon won. But Asuka's reign can be cemented as the history of how to book an international wrestler right. So I say down in the comments, anyone that's watching us right now, the number is 5 people. Tell us, please, any other person that's gone close to the aura of Asuka in NXT Black and Gold. Because I started watching NXT between 2024 and up. And no one's close. Stephanie Vaquer was getting there, but they took her away. If she would have been there for a year and done all the shit that she did, she would have been close to the Asuka. I'm not saying surpassing it, but close enough. Because there's going to be nobody doing that. Nobody in this division can do ever the 500-day reign. No one. Nobody. Sorry, dude. Joe, your thoughts?
I mean, I don't disagree with. I mean, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I mean, Asuka was one of those once in a lifetime talents, and they kind of screwed that up when she went to the main roster.
Yep.
I mean, that's about it. I mean, that's it. They screwed her momentum up.
Yep. But do you see
Had her
anybody
win.
close to that?
Close to Asuka?
Yeah.
I mean,
Somebody in NXT, not in the main roster. NXT right now, all the women that's in the roster. Do you see anybody that could? Again, you have to start her off undefeated, and technically, everybody in the roster is not undefeated. So that's a bummer.
Yeah, that sucks. That's
Moving on. Let's just move on because honestly, this is sad. Because again, NXT 2026 is better. No, if the wise man from the West can't even give me a name of NXT talent now that's comparative to Asuka, that's sad.
I mean, there's talent, but there's not that level.
There's and that was the point of NXT Black and Gold. Once Asuka left, the vacuum was filled with the next wrestler, and then
that's like trying to compare somebody now to the Four Horsewomen. There's no four women in NXT that you can compare to those four.
There's none. I mean, there was Sol Ruka. I mean, if I could think of the Four Horsewomen of now, and I say this now, like, just guessing, just not even guessing, just like what I see. The Four Horsewomen of now is Kendall Gray. So, and if Sol Ruka was in NXT, Sol Ruka. The third person would be Tatum Paxley. And then the fourth woman, and I hate to say this, is a toss-up between Lola Vice or Jada Parker. And I want to put Thea Hale as the fourth person of the horse. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, the Four Horsewomen weren't all women like winning matches. They were there doing the work. They were there doing the matches. They were there trying to do their best to show out more and more. And those four names that I put out there are, for me, the Four Horsewomen. Because because you know this, Joe. Tatum Paxley has been doing the work for years. Thea Hale has been doing the work for years. Freaking Stephanie McCure, if she would have stayed, instant fucking Four Horsewoman. But what we got
same thing.
Is shit.
Julia would have done the same thing because she would have strived if she would have stayed too.
Yeah. And that's the sad part. The fact that in these times, you can't tell me any four women are comparative. There's not. I mean, in terms of like personality, sure. In terms of workhorse, maybe. In terms of like stardom, not even close. Not even fucking close to the Four Horsewomen. And that's what's sad. You got a stacked women's roster on NXT, but none of them can compare to the Four Horsewomen. No, again, Jada Parker got the talk, but she doesn't have great matches. All Four Horsewomen tried every single time to have a better match than the last. None of them are doing that. Except for Tatum, except for Thea, except for maybe Lola, but Lola's stuck in a fucking loop. And Kendall Gray. And by the way, I've seen clips of Kendall Gray in 2023. And she was unhinged and better at 2023 than now. They're holding her back now. And that's sad. You got a fucking. By the way, you got Dean Malenko's daughter, but you have a Dean Malenko type character on the roster named Kendall Gray, and you're not letting her shine. Because why? Oh, I know why. Because Lola Vice and Izzy Dane and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But in NXT Black and Gold, Asuka was the Mountains. but there was about 12 women that climbed that fucking mountain to try to get the Oscar. Am I right or am I wrong, Joe?
You right?
No, you're right.
Thank you. So let's continue this and get to
WWE.
continue on
NXT
this.
was legitimately the place to be. Another year, another step forward. That was a step forward. 2016 became an astronomical leap. William Regal announced that a brand new talent would be making their debut in late February of 2016. And the person NXT had signed was Austin Aries. WWE was replenishing talent right as they left. And this is kind of where a problem began, that instead of building for the main roster, they started to build for NXT. On the flip side, Sammy had injured his shoulder against John Cena when he went up for a one-off match on Raw, and he was back looking for the NXT title now held by Finn Balor. I kid you not, there was an NXT episode where Sami Zayn and Samoa Joe fought for almost the entire episode. At the end of it, Joe became the number one contender. So the question was, what was next for Sami? The next week, Regal announced that at TakeOver Dallas, a night before WrestleMania 32, he was going to face NXT's newest signing. Not Austin Aries, but Shinsuke Nakamura, one of New Japan Pro Wrestling's most awe-inspiring and charismatic stars. The match at TakeOver Dallas, you can call it a lot of things: exhilarating, perfect, jaw-dropping, legendary, but you could call it as the moment where NXT had truly stamped their arrival. Stars like Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Nakamura, the newly signed Bobby Roode, Asuka, and the iconic rivalry of DIY and the Revival continue to bring the NXT name forward. They continue to add big names from varying backgrounds, as well as their own success stories from the Performance Center like Velveteen and Bianca. In March of 2017, a vignette ran of candles and darkness, and the question was, who was this gonna be? It could have been Triple H himself, because this man is obsessed with this type of stuff. But this man's name ended up being Aleister Black. WWE had signed Tommy End from the Indies, and here's where the pace of the signings picked up, and they decided to sign everyone under the sun. On June 28th, 2017, Mauro Ranallo was added to the commentary team. He'd, for many, become the iconic voice of NXT with pop culture one-liners and over-the-top commentary presence. His voice simply became iconic for the black and gold brand. We started to see a ton of UK talent incorporated into NXT's weekly shows. Names like Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, Trent Seven. NXT's cleanup of the independent scene was in full effect. They were building a roster for the ages. They became the ultimate indie themselves. If PWG, ROH, and New Japan had a baby, it would probably be NXT. We also had the return of Drew McIntyre, who had some huge expectations on his shoulders the first time around. He left, rebuilt himself, and now he was on his redemption tour. He did that. He beat Bobby Roode to become the new NXT champion, and following that, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish appeared on the ring apron. Another well-known team by the name of Red Dragon. And at that same moment, from the crowd emerged Adam Cole. Adam Cole was a huge name on the independent circuit, and WWE signing him was literally them signing their poster boy. Mauro Ranallo said it was a seismic shift in the NXT landscape, and it was just that. The formation of the Undisputed Era, there's just something about the group which became synonymous with NXT. It's fitting that that was the group whose main colors were black and yellow, and they defined this brand at their peak. They became staples of that show. They also became the reason why War Games was revived and brought back to the WWE. And they became stacked, and the intricacies of stories grew larger and larger. NXT was no longer this little project out of Full Sail. It had grown. They were running venues just as big as the WWE, with more engaged crowds, better matches, and signings galore. Fans became elated with the product, and it was almost satisfying to know that whatever might be happening elsewhere, NXT was always reliable. NXT always had your back. People were excited of this next generation for the WWE, and the fantasy bookings, I remember them. They were off the chain. The brand grew in roster size, in championship size, and in popularity. People were waving the NXT flag high, and many people were proud to follow the WWE again. And that's no exaggeration. The height NXT had reached by the time TakeOver New Orleans came was astronomical. They were through the roof. They had talent. They had the matches. They had the stories. They were the quintessential wrestling product. So astronomical that by 2019, what was once a developmental made its way to national television. They had a rich roster of talent. Guys like Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Cole, Shirai, Ripley. The list goes on. NXT was not your kind, and it was taking the industry by storm. But you may have noticed that I've glossed over one very important thing.
Hey, baby. ¿Está bien?
Alguien me robó mi antiperspirante Eurospice. Y ahora no paro de...
I don't need to hear Spanish Old Spice. So, what are your thoughts, Joe, on Chapter 1? Because again, they brought up a lot of like names. So
They brought up a lot of good. They brought up a lot of good things. And he is right. When the Undisputed Era came in, that was kind of like the shift to a new beginning for NXT, kind of, because that was when a lot of people started coming in and watching NXT more often. If it wasn't for the Undisputed Era, a lot of people might not have watched NXT.
That is true. And for the fact that Undisputed Era was the reason that there was a War Games. That's what I loved about that. Like, it's the truth. Like, they were being so chaotic, being a 4-person team, they had to like bring War Games just to equalize it.
Yep. And then
return.
That's also when we had the iconic William Regal War Games.
Yeah, exactly. Which I love so freaking much. I miss that. I miss that Regal's not even there anymore.
He's there.
Yeah, but it's not like the same. Like, it's not like he just pops in for like a minute and then never comes back. So like, all right, whatever.
The fucked up part about it is, as much as the Undisputed Era helped define NXT and bring people in, why did WWE not try harder to keep them?
Because they realized like everyone, like not everyone is the same paycheck. I heard that like in reports like, oh, Adam Cole's worth this much money and Kyle O'Reilly's worth this much money, but not this much. So like it really gets you right in the ass of how they want to like. But I wanted to show this picture. Let me see if we can find it. Okay, I'm trying to find the picture of what there it is. All right.
Look for blue pants.
I'm trying. Give me a second. I'm just gonna press play, and then I'll
Button,
pause.
but really good run of Nikki Cross in NXT.
Give me a second.
Trying
It's
to
gonna
kill
come out.
Oscar.
I saw this picture and it inspired me.
And lastly, in this section, I gotta touch on something that the brand.
Okay, there we go. It'll show in a second. There it is. All right. Those are, as the picture you see right there, Joe, those are the winners of the NXT Tag Team belts. And in order, there's 16. And from just 2000 up to 2019, we have the Britain Ambition, we have the Wyatt family, Adrian Neville and Corey Graves, which he rarely brings up the fact that he's the tag team champion. The Ascension with the longest reign. Because again, they had during the Ascension era, there was nobody around. They didn't really have tag teams. They only had jobbers that would come in like every 2 weeks. So I remember that era. Lucha Dragons, Blake and Murphy, the Vaudevillains, which again, they worked hard to get those belts. The Revival, American Alpha, DIY, Authors of Pain, which was not a great experiment, which they tried. Sanity, Undisputed Era, which is Red Dragon, Mustache Mountain, which is a great match between Mustache Mountain and Undisputed Era again, and then War Raiders. So what are your thoughts, D-Walk, on 16 tag team championships and the stories behind them?
They all had a meaning. I'm gonna say it like this. They had a meaning for everything that wrestled for. It was the reason they was there.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't no. It was always exciting to see them. Always. It wasn't a never dull moment where Like it was like a hit or miss, like nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Joe,
Nowadays,
your thoughts?
you know, nowadays we don't even have a lot of tag teams.
Nope.
You know, tag team wrestling used to be something that NXT strived on very well, and now it's like there's hardly no tag teams now at all. Like when you stop and you think who's the current tag team champions, you can't spit it out right away. You have to stop and think about it.
I forgot too. I don't know who are the tag team champions.
The Vanity Project.
Oh yeah, the Vanity Project. But that's a true tag team though. That's an actual tag team.
But they're so forgettable that you have to stop and think about who the fuck the tag team champions are.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you didn't have to think twice. You knew who the tag team champions of NXT were. Because they had a division.
And you knew the three contenders going forward. No matter what year, you knew exactly the champion and the two teams are going after it, at least.
Off the top of your head. You didn't have to think about it.
Mm-hmm. And we're not including Enzo and Cass. We're not. Because Enzo and Cass never won the title. It took 4 years for the Street Profits to actually win a title because they didn't even know each other. There were others. Again, there were other tag teams that not even on this list that were all like Lars Sullivan tried tag team for a little bit. That was even bad for like 6 months. They kept putting him in tag teams for about 3 months, and then he never really won because he kept beating the crap out of his tag team partner.
Nope.
So,
Street Profits, they won them, didn't they, once?
what?
Tag titles?
Lars Sullivan? Hell no.
No, the Street Profits.
Yes, after 4 years. Yep. Even American Alpha. I think they're there too. American Alpha won a belt. And the story behind American Alpha was Chad wanted to be a tag team with Jason Jordan, and Jason Jordan just didn't want to be in a tag team. And once they finally meshed, it was just gold.
And then Jason Jordan got hurt, and that was it.
Yeah, but Jason Jordan got hurt in the main roster. It wasn't NXT. He was fine in NXT. Once he got to the main roster, he got fucked up. It happens. So, same thing happens in the main roster now. So you go from NXT and then you make one mistake and then you're just buried.
Fucking awful.
Yeah.
I know. Well, let's go to chapter 4 so we can just end this beautiful story of life.
Más poder cuando más lo necesitas. Prueba los AC Power Pods.
Well, was that Tide Power Pods?
Wow.
Or was that the generic form?
What's
No,
a wrestling
Tide
show
Power
without
Pods.
rivalries?
Just
NXTs
Spanish
were
version.
something special and different. Oftentimes, what would happen was we'd get the gradual introduction of a character who'd work their way up and eventually they'd become a star. Even their big independent signings would be slowly massaged into the product. Some stories were simple, some were deep-rooted, and some were slow burners, which took years to complete. I already talked about Sami Zayn and Cesaro, which really kicked off the storytelling aspect. Then came Owens and Zayn. It was simple and to the point, and it made Kevin Owens immediately by having him presented as a killer and continuing the generic Ghost-Steen rivalry on NXT. Then it moved over to Finn versus Owens, which was the ruthless nature of Kevin Owens against the smarts and wittiness of Finn Balor. At the same time, we had the rivalry of Bayley and Sasha Banks. This was the story of the opposition of confidence, believing in yourself and slowly burning to a win. One woman was confident in her abilities while the other one was shy and unsure of herself, and she had been turned on by all of her friends. She slowly built up a mean streak and she won the big one. Speaking of the big one, Gargano versus Ciampa. This is the one, whether you like it or not. This is the rivalry that had the most intricacies and deep-rooted story inside of it. I know a lot of people soured on it because it became NXT go-to feud in the later years, but this story is probably the best one that NXT has ever told. Ciampa and Gargano walked into the Dusty Cup in 2015 without a contract. They were paired together and they became really good friends. Fast forward, and by the end of 2016, they'd worked their way up and became one of the most beloved tag teams on NXT. They chased the tag team titles, but they couldn't get it done. They came so close, but the Revival just kept beating them. The Revival kept denying them at every turn until finally at TakeOver Toronto, DIY in an amazing 2 out of 3 falls match won the big one. They held the titles for a bit until they lost them to the Authors of Pain. And then they had try after try after try. Gargano eats of NXT through a blood feud in which can only be comparable to that of Shawn Michaels and Triple H in a much lesser scale. I'm not comparing those two to these two in terms of character and overall legacy, but the feud was pretty similar. Ciampa was a complete psychopath. He was targeting Gargano's marriage, costing him his job time and time again, and making him leave on a stretcher. They headlined takeover after takeover, and this was the perfect way to build a tag team into main eventers for the future. Another one of these standout rivalries was Velveteen Dream versus Aleister Black, and this may seem ridiculous on the surface to people who didn't watch NXT, but it was really enjoyable. The whole premise was Velveteen Dream was a provocative sexual character, and Aleister Black was a quiet, soft-spoken, and broken individual. At this time, Black was dominating everyone, and he ran through everyone in record time. He was going to speak for the first time in NXT, but it was interrupted by Velveteen Dream. Aleister Black and Dream began a story in which Dream wanted to be acknowledged. He wanted Black to say his name, but Black refused to. When we got to take over War Games, a simple enjoy infamy Velveteen Dream had the crowd going crazy. But that wasn't the only big story for Aleister Black. Black was laid out in the oh-so-dangerous NXT parking lot, and there was a month-long investigation as to who attacked him. There were so many people that it could have been, but it was Gargano continuing his slow move to the dark side to get back at Ciampa. Asuka versus Ember Moon was one where Asuka knew that if she got hit with the Eclipse, it was game over, so she resorted to underhanded tactics to pull out wins. Maybe two of the best non-title feuds for the women were those simple stories where your friend stabs you in the back. Dakota Kai versus Tegan Nox and Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai. Simple, to the point, and they
I actually wanted to talk about that, of the Velveteen Dream versus Aleister, and Aleister versus Gargano. And D-Walk does not like watching NXT. Has there been a storyline even close to like who attacked Gargano? And I remember that for a whole month, every week, they showed you a new angle. They went after a different person. And no one knew it was Gargano until he came out himself. So, yeah. Joe and D-Walk, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it was more of a surprise. A lot of stuff was more of a surprise than like we could watch in the see like after the first time they do it, and then especially if they wait a month, 2 months. We knew the first time they did it and everything, but we gotta wait 2 months. Finally be like, oh yeah, we did it.
I remember that match. He murdered Gargano at the end. Like Gargano was already like in concussion mode, and then he felt bad for him. And at the end, like, nah, fuck you, and did the black mask and ended it. Like that was a month to a month and a half storyline. Well, 2 months actually. That made NXT Black and Gold. They gave you like a 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 year storyline.
Yeah.
Or they gave you like 3 months. We're giving you a 3 month storyline. We're going to do it with this. And then after that, you move on. Because that's the way the world works with wrestling. Yeah, exactly. You know? Go on, Joe.
We don't have any feuds nowadays that are comparative to the feuds and the rivalries that we had back in the day.
Not even close. Not even close. Who else that?
The closest thing we had nowadays.
At the door.
Hey, Kane.
The closest thing we had. The closest rivalry we had in the current time frame and the current regime of NXT would be Ethan Page and Trick Williams.
Yes, and also Ethan Page and Javon Evans when he broke his jaw, when he broke his throat, and he couldn't talk for a while. Like that was a storyline.
It was, but the problem with that was he didn't sell this. He didn't sell it enough.
That's true. That was one of the flaws many people said. Like, oh,
Who
he just came back.
who is he? Wolverine? How the fuck you get your jaw broke and you come back the next week? It's 6 weeks, buddy.
All
That's
right,
my game.
that's true. Kane the Destroyer, how are you, sir?
We good.
Okay.
I've been watching from on the sidelines and stuff. I said, man, I got to jump in.
Of course. Man. What are your thoughts on NXT Black and Gold so far? Because again, we're comparing it to NXT of now, and it blows it out of the fucking water. Because again, a storyline, there's no rivalries in NXT right now that even come close to NXT Black and Gold. And those rivalries, like I said before you came in, is like between 1 to 4 years or 3 months. But no matter what, you were getting it done. So your thoughts?
Oh, okay. My thoughts are there's not even a freaking comparison. It's not a comparison because it's night and day. NXT started off with just a little demental thing. They just doing something, and then before you know it, they realize what they had. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, we got some stuff going on here. Okay, as time progressing, and time progressed, they start immediately having people standing out. They had new signings from indie guys coming through. Okay, now everything's getting interesting. Okay, having these good matches, putting on good shows, and developing good stories, and turning just these stars into potential superstars. And that's why you have once they went through the Black and Gold, it was so many matches, so much good stuff that came out of that brand. They had Dusty Rhodes as the captain of the ship. Okay. So right now, make a long story short, there is no comparison from NXT Black and Gold, which it was literally gold. It was gold to what's going on now, because you had to have Black and Gold to lay out the whole stepway of where they at now. Now on the way from then to now, they might have made a wrong turn to Albuquerque or something, but hey, they might have made the wrong turn. But at the same time, back then it was better. It was better, and it kept you engaged. Look, you had Drew McIntyre. He came back and doing his thing. You had Keith Lee and Dijak beating the fucking holy hell out of each other. I mean, come on. You got Amber Moon. You got Oscar. You had so many. So I mean, compared from then to now the storylines of now is just, you like, what? You're scratching your head, or sometimes it's just too freaking predictable, or it be dumb. You can't follow it. You get so uninterested in the first fucking 3 to 5 minutes that you wind up changing the channel, or scrolling, or going or watching Pokemon. You find anything else to do but to watch the product now. You find anything. So there's no comparison from then to now. There's none. NXT Black and Gold was gold. Okay, I'm done. I'm done ranting now.
No, keep going. We keep going. We got our time. Keep going.
Okay, well.
Talk your shit.
Okay, well, man, just think about all the matches that has gone in from your first NXT champion all the way down to who's the NXT champion now. Man, Seth Rollins, Big E, with Bo Dallas, the list just went down and down and down, and it was more of okay, these guys was getting so good Some of them was just getting so good. They said, "Okay, we got a spot for them. We got a spot for them." And now look at some of these guys now. Some of these guys now are some of the highest paid people, and some of them might not be in the company, but they getting paid in another freaking company. Just think about it. Well, I can't really, as far as Roman goes, I can't really think of too many matches I've seen with him, but I know he had a couple on. But Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Big E, all these guys, man. All these guys, man, they all started there. They started there and blast off. And most of these guys in good spots. Now, I ain't saying all of them is, but most of these guys are in good spots. But the stories were so believable. The stories were so good that it captivated you and made you watch. And you like, maybe these folks got something. Maybe they got something. So now it's 2K. It doesn't hold. Yeah, it doesn't hold your interest. Okay, they realize that maybe we got something here because now instead of us having like a few people here, a few crowd here, a few wrestlers in the ring, you got actual fans in here, and you getting more and more fans, and you filling this motherfucker out. Okay, cool. Maybe we do got something here. Now you just went from a developmental thing all the way to a fucking third fucking brand. It's still going, but it's from the blood, sweat, and tears of these guys of before. That's why I will always say black and gold and what the bullshit is going on now. That's why a lot of times I can't watch it. I can't watch it because some of the storylines are hard to freaking follow or don't make no fucking sense or they doing something extra. They're doing something extra. It doesn't even have to happen. Like, okay. Let me give y'all one good example. How in the fuck did Ricky Saints beat Oba? How in the fuck? Okay, I'm waiting. I'm waiting
For the same reasons why they put Javon Evans in a match with Oba and Oba didn't squash him.
Yeah, but this man beat Oba. It was only a couple guys. If I'm not mistaken, only a couple guys beat Oba. And it wasn't that many.
Tony D'Angelo beat him twice.
Yeah, it wasn't that many. Now Tony D'Angelo, I can see that. Ricky Saints, or what D-Walk called Ricky Saints, but some of the stuff just don't follow, or it don't make sense, and that's why the product is so much harder to watch now. They done fucked this shit up. They done fucked it up because now people are not even caring what's coming on or what's going on.
It's not hard to keep people captivated. You just have to know what the hell you're doing.
Yes, you got to. So apparently they have an AI doing the storytelling. They got it, man.
They having some monkeys. They having some monkeys smoking cigarette, writing on typewriters about what's gonna happen.
That's sad.
Yeah, bro. It's just the crazy part is, bro. We seen the potential a long time ago, and it was good. But what happened from 2014, 12? How far back it was? What happened from then to now? Mismanagement. And the biggest thing about Dan was they had a mentor. They had Dusty, bro. Someone that was knowledgeable, that cared about the people, cared about the business.
Yeah.
They had Dusty, bro. And Dusty he pretty much adopt so many sons and daughters around that mother.
Yep.
It's either he adopt them or they have adopted him.
Yeah.
One of the cases. Okay, I'm done.
No, okay. I want to add on to that. The counterpoint to again, NXT now has so many more pay-per-views than NXT takeovers. And again, NXT takeovers were all over the place, from one part of the world to the next. One point I want to say, NXT takeover And even there were matches in Japan. The new product has never gone to Japan to have a match. We've sent people over there, and they have clips, but we've never had a match broadcasted, unlike Shinsuke and Samoa. And also Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. That was a funny little point where they were giving flowers to Finn Balor. Kevin Owens got mad and just like tossed them. That was pretty funny. But the thing I want to say is this. Okay, the counterpoint for the new stuff. You guys have Iron Survivor. That's great. The problem with Iron Survivor matches is that you can kind of predict who wins. You can kind of put it out there. Sometimes you can't, but the last match where Kendall Gray was, I'm like, yeah, Kendall Gray is going to win because I've been watching Evolve and like they have been setting it up. And the one with Oba, I'm like, yeah, once Oba came out, I'm like, yeah, he's going to win. So there's no purpose. But in NXT Black and Gold, they invented war games. They started doing 2 out of 3 falls matches. They started really ramping up matches. They realized, like, hey, we got to start doing some crazy shit because these people ladder matches. Let's do this. Let's do that. So comparing, okay, you have Iron Survivor, but it sucks. Compared to war games, ladder matches, 2 out of 3 fall matches, you're not even close. You're not even close. And again, now, I say this so we can move on to the next topic. The fact that up until the pandemic, it was sort of sailing good. It was, again, 2019 was a crazy year between Dijakovic and Keith Lee and Adam Cole and everything else like that. Once the pandemic hit, it went to like the splatter color era now, and then the black and gray. And I've asked people, tell me a match between 2022 and now that is comparative to black and gold. And no one has told me anything. Nobody. No one has given me a comparison. No one's given me an example. So Luca's a great. Yeah, so Luca had a great match against Kaylani and had a great spot. It wasn't a match of the night like a takeover. Oba and Trick and Javon had a great match. Yes, they did. But again, it's not comparative to a match in takeover. Tell me a match in the comments when you hear this. A match that is comparative to takeover. You can't. Spoilers. Because there's nothing out there right now in the main product. And the stars that you made are gone. The stars that were there, you muddled them in story. Look, let's look at Trick Williams, right? Trick Williams was a stupid babyface that until he turned heel, he got better. Oh, he went to TNA, he broke records. Yeah, he went with a 1-year deal with TNA, and then now you can't even hang out in TNA anymore. So we can't even talk about that. So that whole storyline gets null and void because of the TNA bullshit. That's what I mean. In NXT, they went to Japan, and in those 8 years, they didn't renege the Japan thing. Nope. In NXT 2026, they've had to restructure history. There's no ending to their storyline. Stories start and doesn't end anywhere. People get sent up and down all the fucking time, so you can't really Evolve. Can't really go with NXT storyline because they're all over the fucking place, and Evolve is pre-taped, and they're not. Comparing NXT and doing NXT versus NXT is the most asinine thing I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, the most weirdest shit I've ever seen. We're gonna have no NXT Black and Gold, top to bottom, invented, created, and was the best matches ever. To the point that it was better than most pay-per-views in the main roster. Gargano versus Andrade was the first ever 5-star match since 2011 in the main roster. I have not heard anybody say, oh my God, the NXT match was a 5-star. Nope. So final thoughts on this. D-Walk, go.
Final thoughts. Black and gold is way better than this bullshit.
Wise words. Joe? Enough said. Kane?
I have to agree with D-Walk, bro. It's crazier, and we had so much potential back then. Where it went wrong, who freaking knows?
Yep. And by the way, we were competing until 2019. We were competing with Lucha Underground for a couple years. So, imagine that shit. You guys ain't got Lucha Underground. You guys got A.W., but you guys are on Tuesdays, not on Wednesdays. So, you're not even competing with anybody, and it sucks. But, ladies and gentlemen, that was the final topic of that. We're done with that at 1 minute, 34 seconds. I'm 1 hour. I'm done. And, again, shout out to Influential Sports for inspiring us to do this historical fact and to give a shout out to, I want to make sure I got the name of it. Let me get out of this real quick. No, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give Super Kick, I think it's name of the PUWF. Excuse me. Shout out to Super Kick Studios for giving us their retrospective on NXT. I respect that. I was going to talk about Jada Parker and Adriana Rizzo and Thea Hale going to Evolve, but honestly, we said that at the beginning of the show, so I don't have to say shit. Joe, D-Walk, Kane, if you guys want to talk about wrestling, take it away.
What's happening, yo? Hey, yo.
Yo, brother. That was pretty good.
Yeah, for real. Spit some knowledge on you, son.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
School is in session.
Wish that they did better, bro. I do wish they did better because the crowd engagement from then to now is like night and day, bro.
Yeah.
It's like night and day. So,
and it's bad because the pandemic era was way better than this wrestling era.
Yeah. And that ain't good. That ain't good whatsoever, bro. So now, if you could think of some things that they can fix, since you're constantly on it, D-Walk, what would you
think? I would.
Our specialist vehicle is now ready for you from the nearest pickup station.
Hello, what's that?
Nah, I got a caddy picking me up.
You got a caddy picking you up.
No, I'm playing Grand Theft Auto.
If it's something you can fix with the product, what would you fix?
Storylines, make it more relevant. It's mainly storylines. Like every week is a gap off. You have people wrestling this week, and then not have them wrestling next week. You would talk about them one week, but don't talk about the other. That don't make sense.
Yeah, that's for real. It's just that, man, it's so much inconsistency that's going on, bro. And we as a people, we don't like it. We don't fucking like it because now you getting people disengaged with the product.
Yeah.
You're getting people disengaged because I guess you're assuming that, hey, we can just throw anything out there. They'll buy it. They'll pay for it. They'll watch it. No, they won't. They won't. What they'll do is they'll turn on to a rival company.
My thing is, though, if you're gonna talk about wrestling, make sure you talk about it, though.
Yes.
Make sure it's accurate.
And make sure it's accurate. That's the thing, bro. They used to at one time they were saying NXT was better than Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
But now NXT suck just as bad.
Yeah.
Just as bad. I mean, Raw and SmackDown been having they little, you know what I'm saying, little hits and misses and shit. and I imagine for long it's gonna be nothing but Samoans and Polynesians all over Raw and SmackDown. But hey, but I digress.
No, for real.
That's what I think. That's personally what I think, bro. It's gonna be full of Polynesians. Which
For real.
I don't have anything against it, but they need to start displaying more people. It's more people to display out there, and then some people you're not giving a chance.
No, not at all.
Now with this shit with Jada Parker, I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. I
Me
honestly
either.
don't know what the fuck is going on with that. Cause they need to figure out what they gonna do with her. It looks like they need her because she gets a pop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks like that they need her, but you gonna break her down all the way until people it's gonna be like, oh, that's Jada. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
You're gonna break her down, and I think it won't be long. And it need to do something with Jada. Do something if you're gonna do something with her, because I imagine one of these other companies wouldn't mind getting her.
Nope.
Yeah, and then if you come from one of the places that's considered the top of the top, you know, and you young, and you pretty good on the mic, they'll do something with you. They'll do something with you.
No, for real. You see what they did with Tony Storm?
Yeah, Tony Storm, man. Tony Storm was decent, bro. But when she went to AEW and finally got into her own,
Couldn't nobody stop Tony Storm but Tony Storm. And she been killing it.
Man, what knocking at the ballpark.
Then you got bums like Javon Evans, who've been to every wrestling company and still hasn't won a championship.
Man, why you gotta be all that? Why you gotta be blood break?
Bro, give him some time, bro.
He's been in AEW. They let him go. He's been in TNA. They let him go. He went to NXT. They moved him up to the main roster. Now he's on the main roster. Nothing.
Well, guess what? He getting TV time. That's all that matters. He's getting paid. He's getting
Trick Williams was the champion on the main roster in his first month.
Yeah, but he's not Trick Williams. He's not Trick
exactly.
Williams.
He's not.
And guess what? Oba have not got a championship match either.
Oba hasn't had a match really. I mean he's wrestled Brock a couple times, and he's wrestled some bums.
Exactly. He beat champions.
But you know, maybe
look, we don't count Crackerjack championships from AAA.
No, okay, yeah.
Maybe we got to give a little more time, bro, because WWE already wrapped themselves around certain storylines and certain little shit that they gotta potentially try to fix it. So by them they might not be displaying Javon how we want it, but they still displaying them. He's still he's getting that TV time.
The only place I want to see him is in catering.
No. It's something in him. He's too flashy for catering, bro.
He's cheesesteaks.
That's all he's good for is a flash. He's a flash in the pan. That's what they call flash in the pan.
I feel like this.
Cheesesteaks.
I feel like this. If being flashy would get you to the fucking dance, I keep fucking dancing.
But if you dance, you're gonna lose weight though. So you don't want to dance all the time.
Yeah. But at the same time, he's still young. What, he like 22, 23?
It's terrible. Mario Jannetty held more championships. It's terrible.
22, 20. Man, number 20, 23. He got plenty of time to grow. Well, okay. So what if he do like? What if he wound up doing like Drew McIntyre?
That he's that young, but yet he was released from all the big companies.
Hey, yeah, I feel that. I'm saying, what if WWE do him just like Drew McIntyre?
They're not going to.
Oh, shit.
He ain't big enough.
So is that's your only beef with Javon?
He's a beanpole.
Damn, yo.
I think a beanpole got more girth.
Damn. Damn, yo.
Javon and the beanpole had a contest. They were both standing on stage, and the beanpole won because it was bigger.
No, Dog said mercy, man. He said mercy.
Yeah, I think you give him a little more time, bro.
How much time? Yeah, you've been saying that ever since the beginning.
I'm gonna keep saying it. Give him more time. Joe?
Yeah, that was years ago. You said that.
Give him a little more time. They see something in him. They might see something that we don't see. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
he's going to be used as what he's used for, and that is they're going to use him as a high flyer, flash photography person that does high flying shit, then dumb shit that makes a highlight reel, but he's never going to win the championship.
Okay.
That's all he's going to be worth. That's his worth.
Okay. Well then,
if he puts on about 40, 50 pounds,
okay,
then they might take him seriously.
Okay, I got that. Okay, so let's talk about it in Jeff Hardy then. Jeff Hardy was little as hell, high flying and shit. I mean, he was being displayed with his brother all the time and stuff like that. And he was also outshining his brother because he's the more risk taker or shit like that. Okay, I do understand that. But it took him years to actually grab his first heavyweight championship.
Correct.
It took him years. So
but that's because he was part. But that's because he was part of a tag team for years.
Okay.
He wasn't a singles wrestler.
I said to say this. Just like they gave him time, and he wound up crafting his skills a whole lot better, becoming champions and going other places and becoming champions. Give that man the same luxury. Give him time to grow.
He was also bigger though.
He wasn't that much bigger.
He's bigger.
When Jeff first came out, Jeff wasn't that much bigger.
He's bigger than Javon.
Javon is tall as shit. Okay,
that's the problem. If he was 170 pounds and he was 5'8", this wouldn't be a discussion.
Yeah.
But he's 6'2" and 170. This is where the problem lies.
That's where the problem lies. Okay.
Hey, Bubba Ray Dudley had to leave WWE to get a major title.
Yeah, he showed and kept that motherfucker for a while too.
Well, that's what happens when you have a company that's desperate. See what happens? TNA was desperate, but even TNA let Javon go.
Yeah, but I'm saying give him a couple years. What he need to do is he might need to join division. He might need to join.
So he could be surrounded by big people. Maybe they could teach him how to eat and gain weight.
Maybe, but he can be surrounded by Paul Heyman.
He needs to join the state committee.
He needs to be surrounded by because Paul Heyman, Paul Heyman's gonna give it to him straight. You have potential, but you need this, you need that, you need that, you need that.
They need to get him a subscription to Omaha Steaks.
I still say give him a little more time, bro.
Steak and eggs 4 times a day.
Yeah. Now, okay,
here we go.
Okay, now if he got to gain that weight. Okay, if he gain that weight right there, he might have to change some of his move sets. He might have changed some of his move sets because he's gonna have to be able to accommodate for being heavier.
Yeah, but he could still do everything he does. He just has to practice. This is why a long time ago, when they had the injury angle with his jaw, they should have written the motherfucker off TV for 6 months to a year, had him go gain the weight, train, and be off TV so he can perfect his craft and do better at that while gaining weight and come back even bigger, stronger, and better than he was. But they didn't do that. They wanted to rush. And here we are now with still a scrawny toothpick of a Javon Evans that's not believable. I'm sorry, he's not believable. I don't think he could beat my 90-year-old dead grandmother that was in a fucking wheelchair.
Damn.
Okay. And we got a guy like that you're putting up against guys like Oba, and you're trying to say that that's going to be a legitimate fight. No. That should be a squash match. That should be Brock Lesnar fucking squashing Zach Gowen. in front of his mother.
Damn, that's rough.
Damn,
That motherfucker doesn't even deserve to be on TV right now.
Joe
He
acting
needs
like
to be
Thanos
off
right now.
TV, gain some fucking weight, and stop being a fucking he needs to prove that he wants to be a superstar and not just a flash in the pan.
Damn, Joe acting a real heel right now, ain't he?
And I would tell Javon to his face the same thing. I don't care. I'm going to be honest with you and tell you the truth. You want to be a megastar, you want to be a superstar in this business, gain weight. The same thing that they told to my friend Brandon when he was coming up. They said, "You're great. You have all the tools. You're just not big enough."
Yep, for Brandon was dope.
And he did, what did he do? He gained weight, got better, kept doing all the same moves he was doing at 30, 40 pounds less. But he was doing all that same stuff at 220.
Okay, so what if it's not his fault? What if they telling him not to gain weight? What if they tell him not to get outside a certain size? Because WWE be kind of tight on them folks. They have to ask permission for everything.
WWE would never do that. And the reason is because WWE is hung up on larger superstars. They want muscular, bigger superstars. That's always been the way. It's never going to change. That is just the way that WWE is built.
They like big meat.
They like bigger guys. Trick Williams went up to the main roster and got a championship in his first month. Why?
Yeah, WWE like big meat. Heavy, fat.
He big though. He's muscular. He's a big, muscular, tall guy that is shredded, and he's good on the mic. He's good in the ring, right? But on top of just being good on the mic and good at the ring, he is a taller, muscular, shredded individual. He's a larger individual. Carmelo Hayes didn't win his first title when he first went up to the main roster. It took him fucking 2 years. Yeah. Why? Because he's not big enough.
Yeah, WWE like big fat meat, sloppy meat, lean meat.
And how long did Carmelo hold his belt? A month? He won a title and held it for about a month. Woo-woo. They needed a transitional champion.
Word.
Okay. And that's Carmelo Hayes, who's super talented.
Yeah.
But we didn't know how much what the kids say now Riz that Trick had until Carmelo left.
I knew what Trick had. I always said the Trick was a superstar just waiting to get out from under Carmelo's shadow.
Yeah.
I felt like Carmelo held him down for a very long time, and that they put too much focus on Carmelo Hayes in NXT and not enough focus on Trick. And as soon as they started putting the shine on Trick, that motherfucker never looked back.
Yeah, for real. But I'm gonna say this right here. Be honest though, I think that just like you said yourself, they rush things. Why they rush things? Because they failing on not making superstars. They really failing on that shit. They rushed these three guys. Two of them, you understand. One of them, you questionable about. I actually think Javon should stay in NXT a little bit longer, bro. I think he should have stayed in NXT a little bit longer. I think he should have started doing shit with TNA, doing just bouncing around every which way. Okay, it would have been.
Javon should have went to Evolve.
It would have been easier for him to get written off on NXT, where he can work on the shit that he really needs. Now, I never said I didn't agree with the fact that he's smaller. I never said that because he do need to gain a little bit of weight. He do. I always said that. But just say he's still young. He's you know what I'm saying? That shit takes time. All that shit takes time. That's what he needs, a little more time. Now maybe maybe in another year or so, he can gain a little bit of weight and start taking it more serious because you're in a highly competitive business, especially if you're on the main roster. Where some of the guys, it takes them 5-10 years to be able to win their first mega championship.
Yeah.
That's if any championship. You have a bunch of them that win a championship and only have it a little while.
But Kane,
like a week.
But Kane, you said the same thing a few years ago about Javon. Here we are a few years later, and he's still the same. He has not changed. There has been no progress or development.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, you said this a few years ago. A lot of people have said this a few years ago. And here we are a few years later, and there's still no change. Nothing. He's still the same person he was a few years ago. Where's the character development? Where is the building of building a superstar? Where is him getting bigger? If somebody can benefit from taking steroids, it's probably this guy.
Probably so.
I'm just like, and that's if the needle isn't too big for his arm. I mean,
damn.
Arms look like skeleton. I don't know, real thin. He looked very feminine, like I could take my thumb and my index finger and be able to wrap it around his wrists.
Okay, well, you got your bigger guys that have been stuck in park ever since they left fucking NXT.
Okay,
you got a bunch of them, and they probably double the weight of fucking. You said who?
Yeah.
Okay. Like Omos.
Omos is in AAA, and he wasn't really being billed as a superstar. He was being billed as a attraction, like a spectacle, because of his size.
Basically, from the circus.
Also, Omos was the tag team champions with AJ Styles.
And how long it took him to grab a tag team championship with AJ Styles?
His first year on the main roster.
Okay. You got Otis.
Okay, former tag team champion.
Hold up now. We're not talking about tag team championship. We're talking about singles championship.
Yeah, but they were. Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Otis was a tag team wrestler. You're bringing up guys that were tag team wrestlers. Otis was a tag team wrestler. Remember Heavy Machinery?
Yeah, I remember Heavy Machinery. They got rid of one of them and kept the other one.
Right, and then they put him with Chad Gable, and they made him a tag team again.
Yeah.
He had a small run as a singles competitor, and he won the what the hell did he win? Money in the Bank. He won Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And then they had him lose. Money in the Bank to Miz or somebody.
Yeah, it was something like that.
And the reason they did that was they didn't feel comfortable with him being Money in the Bank.
That wasn't weird at all. Okay. Well, I'm still staying. I'm gonna still say, maybe it's something they see and nobody else seeing with this guy. Now, if they decide just to use him and abuse him to be flashy and all that other shit, okay, whatever. Because as long as he is active, and long as he appearing on shows, it's something there. But he do need to take a storyline injury or something. He need to take something. He do need to gain a little bit.
Yeah.
He do. Well, maybe
that's
a lot
all we're saying.
Maybe a lot of
we're not. That's all we're saying.
That's all I've been saying. That's all I've ever been saying about him was he needs to gain weight.
Yeah, he do.
He needs to be bigger.
Yeah. I do understand that aspect. Because I agree with that aspect. But as far as just downing him and saying that he's not this, he's not that, just because he doesn't gain weight, I can't agree with that. I just can't.
There's been a million and one guys that do what Javon does.
Yeah, you're right.
1,000,001. Kofi Kingston did the same thing, but Kofi Kingston did that at 230 pounds.
Yeah, so he was bigger than dude.
And he was also shorter.
Yeah.
And then Ray had to take a little juice to get bigger.
Ray even did juice. Ray got suspended for that shit.
Yeah.
Back when he first got to WWE, he was doing good. He was getting bigger. He got up to like 175 to between 175 and 200, but he's only 5'4".
Yeah.
He weighs more than Javon Evans, and he's a foot shorter. Stop and think about that for a whole minute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he wound up becoming a world champion a couple times.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if it's
But
a couple
again,
or one.
It was two. It was
Two.
two. One of them because when Eddie died.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2. But
Okay,
still, he's also been Intercontinental Champion, U.S. Champion, Tag Team Champion, Cruiserweight Champion, Television Champion.
Yeah, he do got a resume.
Motherfucker got a resume long. I mean, it's like he's won a lot of championships.
Yeah, but he been around a whole lot longer. He been what ain't Ray like in his 50s?
Now, yeah.
Yeah, but okay. When Rey Mysterio was like first, I remember seeing Rey Mysterio first time ever in WCW. He was a little guy running around with a damn mask in the cruiserweight division.
First time I saw him was before that. I saw him when he was in ECW.
Yeah, damn, I forgot about that. Forgot about ECW. See, I see him a couple times in ECW.
That's because WCW was scalping ECW's talent.
Oh, bad as a motherfucker too.
They were taking ECW's talent.
They were.
That's where Dean Malenko came from. That's where Eddie Guerrero came from. That's where Psychosis came from. Stone Cold did not come from ECW. Stone Cold came from WCW.
Yeah, he came
then went to ECW. Then he went to ECW, and then he went to WWF.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, but all those cruiserweights that WCW had, a good half of them came from ECW.
Yeah, they was.
Yeah, you wouldn't have had a Malenko and a Guerrero, a Benoit, a Rey Mysterio, a Psychosis. All those guys came from ECW.
And then just thinking about guys like RVD.
Yeah.
RVD was a little guy.
RVD was still like 230 to 250.
Yeah. Little guy.
He was still pretty big, and he wasn't even 6 foot tall.
You said he was 6 foot tall?
No, he wasn't even 6 foot tall. He was under 6 feet. And he was still 230 to 250.
Yeah.
And look at the stuff he did at that weight.
Yeah, he did his thing. I was a big RVD fan.
RVD flies across the ring.
Yeah, I was a big RVD fan. Yeah.
Here's a good example. Jerry Lynn. I use this as an example all the time. Jerry Lynn, people talk about him all the time, how great he was and everything.
Okay.
I'm not doubting the man's ability. But without RVD, Jerry Lynn was garbage.
Yeah, they said that.
He was trash. RVD made Jerry Lynn look like a one-of-a-kind generational superstar. He brought it out of him because RVD was one of those guys that can carry a paper bag through a match and make it look like a 5-star match.
Yeah.
Well, you ain't lying.
Yeah, for real.
You ain't lying.
There are wrestlers that are talented and can do that. RVD is just happens to be one of those guys. Doesn't matter who the fuck he wrestles. He can wrestle a geriatric patient that has 2 bad hips and 2 bad knees and still make them look good. I mean, I just, and this is another issue with a lot of superstars nowadays. We look at the matches that they're having and we're saying what great matches they had, but then you watch them wrestle somebody else and they're like, wow, that was terrible. And then you really got to start looking at the superstar. You know what I mean?
Word. Yeah, for
Again,
real.
Jade Cargill is another example. Someone will say, "Oh, she had a great match." Who'd she wrestle? Who'd she wrestle? She wrestled Charlotte, and Charlotte made her look good. Kind of makes sense. Did she wrestle Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley made her look good? Kind of makes sense. But she wrestle other people, and she looks terrible, and she hurts people. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, apparently these folks seeing something in this woman. I'm not quite sure.
Her physique, her look. She has a look.
Just her look.
Mm-hmm.
Just her look. Yeah.
She is a jacked up statue.
Yeah, she is. She is.
And I'm not taking anything away from her physique. She is a statuesque woman. She is as if Michelangelo chiseled her out of stone.
Yeah, for real.
That doesn't mean you could wrestle. Her physique is a 10 out of 10. Her look is 10 out of 10. She's perfect.
She looks the part and talks the part, but can't back it up.
Right. Correct. Versus somebody who, like a Charlotte Flair, who walks the walk, talks the talk, and can back it up 10 out of 10. Even Becky Lynch can do it.
Even Becky Lynch?
Becky Lynch got her nose broken and turned it into something major, massive for her career. She took a negative and made it into a positive.
It took years to do that, though.
Yeah, but it took Nia Jax breaking her nose to do that. It took another wrestler fucking up and not being able to do her fucking job properly, and injuring somebody else.
Which was for the people to know, it was Nia, y'all.
It's always fun. It's always Nia. And as far as injuries go in WWE, if it's in the women's division, it's usually Nia or Jade. Just going to say that.
Yeah, for real.
But again, it happened, and Becky Lynch, being a professional and smart, did what she had to do and was covered in blood in her face and raised her hand up in the crowd with the blood dripping down her face. And a t-shirt was made, and the man was born.
The man was born. But all this happened years after she'd been on the main roster, bro.
Right.
It did happen. So
right, but the main roster was being held hostage by Charlotte and Sasha for a long time.
For a long time. They literally forgot about Bayley and Becky Lynch. Now Bayley had to make her way, and right now I don't know what the fuck they got going on with Bayley now. And Becky, she had to make her way, which was more memorable. Okay. Like I did love the fact that Bayley stopped being a hugger, and she changed the whole game. And that night she changed the whole game, changed everything. She was going against Charlotte Flair, and she
don't get me started on the hugger gimmick, because every time I see her with that sideways ponytail, all I think is the episode with Chris and the retarded girl in Family Guy,
Wow.
I keep seeing her. I keep seeing that as Bailey.
Wow, that was a good.
Yeah,
Wow.
but she had to do that though, bro. She had to do that. She had to appear to a crowd, and she knew if she appeared to more of the kids, it was
She couldn't straighten her ponytail.
Keep it going.
She couldn't straighten her goddamn ponytail.
She was appearing to the kids. The kids were mocking it.
Yeah, every kid wore that hair like that.
She need to straighten her damn ponytail out because every time I saw a sideways ponytail, I saw retard written all over her face.
Man, she did what she thought that she had to do, bro. It probably wasn't even on purpose. It probably just something that just happened, and she just said, "Fuck it, I'm running with it." You know, I'm running with it. But the moment she cut her hair. The moment she cut her hair and chopped off all her little wacky arm, whatever shit. Once she done that shit, the game changed. The game changed.
Hey, in my Batman voice, where is she?
Yeah, now she's on the island of irrelevancy. she's very on the island. Yeah,
she ain't relevant anymore.
No, she's not relevant no more. But okay, cool. Okay, cool. But you know what I'm saying? She had her run. She had her run. She did what she had to do. She did what she had to do. And Becky's still hanging on. Well, I don't know now. Hold up, is Becky still no. She ain't the champ no more.
So Ruka's the IC champ now.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So maybe now Becky got a little time to rest. A little time to rest and be with a kid a little bit. Because once you take on those championships, man, you have to appear. You have to appear everywhere. Everywhere you need it. Yeah, so my thing is, I still say, bro, now I can't say this about Jade, because Jade, I don't know what's not clicking. I'm not even sure what's not clicking, because something's not clicking. Because Jade ought to be a whole lot better than what she is, but I'm not gonna tear her down either. I'm not gonna tear her down, because her physique, her whatever it is, brought her to the party. And 9 out of 10, they probably paying her very well. They probably, well, I can't say too well, but they paying her. But something besides her physique got her to the party. And she wound up becoming a women's championship, and she hasn't been in the company that fucking long. Now what's not clicking with her wrestling wise, I don't have a fucking clue. Because you got Daniel Bryan. I put it to you like this. If Daniel Bryan was training one of us, we're probably some bad motherfuckers around that bitch. we'll probably be some bad motherfuckers. Yeah. Daniel Bryan never been no pushover, never been no bullshit, even on the fucking indie scene. No. Even on the indie scene, if you wrestled that motherfucker, you knew you was in a fight. You probably knew before you got out there. You probably be like, oh man, this motherfucker. I gotta arrest this little motherfucker.
Why I gotta arrest this motherfucker?
Yeah,
right. And here's the thing too about Jade. She was trained by not only Daniel Bryan, she was trained by fucking Serena Deeb. She was also trained by Shawn Michaels. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the legends she's been trained by.
So I don't know what's clicking. You know what I'm saying? I won't know. You won't know either. I don't know what's clicking. But I still feel like
ego. That's what's clicking.
You said what?
It's her fucking ego.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because she talks the talk. She got the look. She just can't back it up with the wrestling. Maybe she is just. Maybe they. Okay, this is something I always said about Jane, bro. They shouldn't have brought her to the main roster. They should have sent her ass to fucking NXT.
Just like
should have kept her ass in the performance center until she was good enough to put on NXT.
Yes, they should have kept her in NXT, bro. I feel like at least NXT. Should have
Just
kept
like
it there.
Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace, they thought they had a diamond. They thought they were getting a diamond, and then when she got there and she started doing all them botches, they realized they had a cubic zirconia.
Damn.
Yeah.
Why cubic zirconian?
Hey,
Because they're the fake diamond.
bro, I
Damn.
ain't gonna lie, bro. It seemed like Jordan Grace was better when she had that a little bit of weight on her, though, bro.
Jordan Grace was better in TNA because she was a bigger fish in a smaller pond.
Yeah.
When she became little fish in a gigantic ocean, she didn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah. And
She forgot how to swim.
wanted to, but I knew. But it seemed like to me when she had that a little bit of weight on her, which to me it was cute. It was cute on her to me. To me, it was cute. Had a little bit of weight, shit like that. She was going by what she was calling herself, Big Mama Pump or whatever. Okay, cool. But when she lost all that weight and turned all the muscle and shit like that, will convert her fats and muscle and shit like that. It seemed like that's when all the problems came.
The problem started to happen. The real problem started to happen came was when she transitioned and she went from TNA to NXT.
Yeah,
that's when the problems happened. Because before that, she was doing just fine in TNA. Even after she lost the weight and turned it to muscle, she was doing fine.
Yeah.
But when she got to NXT, that's when she started fucking up.
Yeah. So now, what the fuck is she doing now?
She makes a quick TV appearance once in a while, and that's it. Never held a WWE championship.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it used to be back in the day, to get called up to the main roster, you had a world title run.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Nowadays, they don't give a fuck if you even held a championship. They just call you up and move you on down the line.
They call you up on your lunch break. You up there having lunch, like, hey man, come on, you up to the main roster. Like, for real, I can't even finish my sandwich. This is my first day.
I was enjoying catering.
Right. I didn't want to go. I don't want to go to the main roster. I want to stay in catering. Imagine this. You in NXT. Your whole time, you in catering. You never had a wrestling match. You probably had one match. You in catering the whole time. For 2 years, you in catering. And you get that call like, we're moving up to the upper roster. No, I don't want to. No.
Too bad. You on the contract.
You eating too much. Get going.
No, I don't want to. What I got to do to stay? I like catering. I'm cool with catering.
Well, how about this? You take your ass to go cater at a goddamn lunch cafeteria. How about that? You're going up, or you had breach of contract.
Well,
either way you want to do it.
Can I stay in catering if I get called up?
I'd be like, you cater your ass onto the unemployment line if that's the case.
Yeah.
Can I stay in catering if I get called up?
No. Main roster don't get catering. They took that away, remember?
Unless you're getting buried.
Remember what Kevin Nash said? All they had was some chips.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame ceremony. All they had was chips and some water.
Damn, I'd have been mad.
He said they had them standing around for like 12 hours with nothing but chips and water.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's super wild.
That's disrespectful, is what that is.
That
is. Hey, imagine if DoorDash was around that time.
Man, I'll be door dashing, bro. It wouldn't be no chips for me.
That was the Hall of Fame ceremony from this past year.
I still would have DoorDash. I'm like, oh,
Man,
y'all want to feed me? Okay.
I'm a DoorDash me 3
He
steaks.
did. He DoorDashed. He did DoorDash. He used DoorDash to get a meal, I think is what he said.
Hey, I'm gonna go to Longhorns. I'm gonna give
Right.
me two big old steaks.
I think that's what he ordered, actually.
For real?
Yeah.
Probably got him 2 big old steaks. Yeah, I'm gonna eat the hell out of this shit. Give me some mashed potatoes. I'm gonna get all this shit. I'm eating number carbs.
Man, what?
Number carbs.
You see Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Dude shredded.
Yeah, especially Pete Kevin Nash.
No, he's shredded now.
Oh,
like in his 60s, he's shredded.
Shit, look at Billy Gunn.
I know. Kevin Nash too, bro. Kevin Nash ain't even wrestle no more.
Billy, I don't know what the deal with Billy. Billy said his old ass down somewhere, but Billy in fucking phenomenal shape. Like Billy, come on now, bro.
Billy's on bodybuilder status.
Man, what? Billy said, y'all got me fucked up. I'm be working out till the day I die.
Billy's like, oh, you don't think I could do it? Okay, I got something for you.
Hey,
Billy, man, I can't believe he that big still. He made Goldberg look small.
Dude, they had a picture of him. He was standing next to Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's bigger than Arnold.
Yeah, it's a big ass dude, bro.
He's bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Man, that's crazy.
I was like, damn. Billy Gunn is huge.
Man, for real, what?
You like, damn, this big ass dude right here. This motherfucker big.
How old are you, Billy? 65?
How old you are? You what?
You like 1 year away from your AARP card.
Man,
look, I'm still look good when I get my ARP card. That motherfucker still probably benching good weight.
And imagine you pulling up to the light and you talking shit to him, he get out the car.
And he realized how big this motherfucker really is. They said Billy is really fucking big for real.
No, he is. Like I said, I saw that picture of him and it was him and another bodybuilder guy that's a friend of his, and they were standing outside the gym with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Billy looks like he's double the size of Arnold.
Yeah, I know he probably taller than Arnold.
He was.
Ooh, wait. But Billy always been a big ass dude though, but
but he was never that big, bro. He used to be skinny as fuck. Remember when he was with the Smoking Guns?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was. Yeah, he was skinny.
Even with the New Age Outlaws, he was skinny.
No, he was still kind of big with the New Age Outlaws.
It's just because he looked big because Road Dogg was fat. It's just
probably right. But then when he became the one Billy Gunn, you start seeing a little more definition.
Right.
You start seeing a little more definition. It was like he was more into that gym then, and it seemed like from that point on, that motherfucker been on it. We're like, Billy, hey, bro, you ain't gotta work out no more, bro. You just chill. Be like, fuck that. Fuck that.
That motherfucker probably taking PEDs and shit, like taking tons of PEDs. He's probably taking all kinds of shit.
He made Goldberg look small.
Yeah, Goldberg.
Goldberg's still pretty big though for an old man.
Hey, I wouldn't want to piss that old man off.
Now Brock, on the other hand, that's going to be a big motherfucker till the day he dies.
Always, country boy.
That dude is big as fuck, and he ain't gonna get any smaller. And he's about to be 50.
Yeah.
Hey, imagine you pulling up on the light and he get out the car.
Man, boy, I'm staying in the car.
Go get the gun.
Well, get the gun. You better have that gun ready and loaded on the side.
Man, yeah, because he gonna chase your ass, and he can't run.
I'm pulling off. I'm not gonna sit there and squabble with this motherfucker.
Hey, what if you take your car off?
Got a grown ass man that's going to be able to lift your car up.
Man, what if you tip your car over though when you try to run?
Shit, I take my chance in that car. Didn't take my chances out there trying to squabble with this motherfucker.
He's fast too.
Yeah.
Bro,
That's another
I'm gonna
problem.
tell you
He's
something.
fast.
I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Ain't nobody faster than a motherfucker that got motivation to get away.
Man, what?
And you see Brock, and Brock get out the car, you gone. You running red light, stop signs, every fucking thing. You know one thing. If that mother get a hold of you, it is game fucking over.
Just don't wear a hoodie. Cause when he get close on you, he'll grab that hoodie.
Bro, you
Get your
gonna tear
ass
the
here.
bomb you. Man, your tires are gonna go bald getting away from that motherfucker. You gonna hit that gas so fucking hard, and you would rather take a chance of getting a ticket from a police or just getting pulled by the police than to get caught by this man.
Man,
It's like trying to run away from Brock. It's like trying to run away from Mike Tyson.
Just think about it. Do you really want Brock to hit you? Do you really want Brock to hit you?
His fist is as big as your whole head.
Fuck yeah,
man,
you
what?
really want this man to hit you? Bro,
He's one of the only guys in UFC that they had to custom make gloves for. They had to make the first time they had to make a XXL glove.
I'm not letting that motherfucker hit me.
Man, what?
I will apologize.
I'm telling you right now, as that was one of the first guys they had to make a XXL glove for in UFC.
Yeah, bro, I will apologize. That's if you catch me.
He said, I will apologize, man. Brock, man, my bad.
Yeah. Bro,
Motherfucker runs with trees in the snow. You don't think he can catch you?
Bro, I'm 6'2". I'm a pretty big dude too. But this motherfucker here, this country ass picking up logs and running and shit. Like I'm not finna deal with that shit. If I can pull off away from that motherfucker, I'm pulling out. If he grab a car,
This is the motherfucker that puts his wife in the golf cart, ties a rope to the golf cart, puts it around his waist in waist deep snow, and goes for a mile run.
Man, who gonna deal with that? Who gonna deal with that? Only person gonna deal with that is another motherfucker that's just as crazy. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not gonna play with that motherfucker, bro. That motherfucker too big.
Man.
Kurt Angle too old for that shit. He's like, I ain't dealing with that no more.
I'm not dealing with this shit, bro. Hey, if anything, I'm gonna have to pop the trunk and hope like hell that the bullets don't bounce off his head.
Hey, I'm gonna try to put you on a t-shirt, Bucko.
At this rate, you better hope them bullets don't bounce off because it's not been tested yet.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, for real.
Hey,
you should fight that man. No.
Hey, you shoot some hollow points. You shoot some hollows at Brock Lesnar, and the bitches just bounce off him though. All you can say is fuck.
If you shoot him and the bullets bounce off, you might want to keep one for yourself and finish it the humane way.
Man, he gonna beat your ass.
You better save one bullet in the chamber for yourself in case those bullets bounce off.
Man, that's it. I'm not gonna let that man hit me. I'm not gonna let that man hit me. Because I already know he gonna hit me and I can't do shit about it.
Man, wait.
I can't do shit about it. I can just sit there and be like, not the face.
No,
you could do something. You could definitely do something about it. You could take it.
That's it.
Forget it if he wants to get Diddy-fied on your ass.
Man, don't talk like that, bro. Come on.
No, Joe.
Hey, basically, he just said you gonna wake up with your pants around your ankles.
Nah, Joe.
If that man toss your salad, you gonna be changing your tune.
Joe, you disrespectful. You wake up with your pants around your ankles and your ass bleeding like water.
You know what? This sounds like a good time to stop the show, bro.
Stop the show.
Stop the show.
It's a good time right here.
Supposed to be waiting on Krishan.
Was that too much?
Yeah.
That was way too much.
Supposed to be waiting on Krishan.
Kane's sitting there like this motherfucker. He's sitting there like he's like this motherfucker. He's like, and I wouldn't have no choice because there'll be no choice for me to do anything but to just take it.
Look, hey, Matter of fact, hey, what if he
Brock
wakes
in
you
jail.
up
You
in
know how
jail?
bad Brock would be in jail?
Bro, he might break out that bitch just to got there get to a motherfucker.
Hey,
Who
imagine
gonna
him
stop?
wake you up and then violate you.
Hey,
Hey,
you go
wake
watch.
up.
You're gonna watch. It's gonna look like a cartoon. You're gonna see inmates like just flying over the wall. Like,
Man, what?
what the fuck is going on
NACO,
here?
all that shit.
Oh, you want to get
Everybody
out too?
leaving.
You want to go to jail? You want to get out too? I got you. I'm gonna toss you over here.
Man, he gonna chunk your head over the wall. He gonna climb over that bitch. He gonna say, I'm gonna find your ass.
What you mean climb over here? He gonna run through it.
Oh
He ain't
shit,
gonna climb over. He gonna run through it.
He's gonna be king of the jail.
bro. I'm going to another fucking country.
I'm going to the country.
Hey,
He's like, I'm leaving.
I rather have my look if I know I'm in another fucking country. Hell, gotta really find me then. This motherfucker gonna whoop your ass. Then probably violate you in front of your family, bro.
Man, motherfucking. I remember when Mike went to jail. Ain't nobody fuck with Mike.
No, ain't nothing. When he told you to shut up, you shut it up. Hey man, y'all shut up. I'm trying to read.
It wasn't like that. It was like, hey, shut up, guy. I'm trying to weed.
Mike Tyson said, this is literally what Mike Tyson said. I had the best time when I was in prison. I said, who says some shit like that?
He got to read Curious George in peace.
Man, I ain't never heard nobody say nothing like that.
Dude said Curious George, bro.
He got to read his Curious George books in peace.
They tell them motherfuckers that they'll probably read it to him. They'll read it to him, reenacting what happened, all that shit. Man, fuck
I imagine,
probably bop motherfuckers on the head like, hey, again.
Yeah, for real. Fuck that.
hey, imagine Brock Lesnar could get out of his cell whenever he wanted to. He'd lift the cell up and open it himself though, like,
That'd be fucked up.
What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Dude, you had to call all the military.
Man, what? You had to call everybody. You had to call motherfuckers from different prisons to come over here.
Yeah.
Brock's a scary motherfucker, dude. That's like Incredible Hulk in real life.
It's the closest we gonna get to a real like Incredible Hulk.
Dude, and when they did the first Incredible Hulk movie, the Incredible Hulk in the very first movie they did in like 01, 03, looked just like Brock. I was like, why didn't they get Brock just to play Hulk?
Right.
Should have.
Should have less money.
We'll save money on CGI.
It's a big motherfucker, bro. And then,
man, what?
And then if you talking about he trying to take some cheeks, bro, your cheeks are taken.
You say ain't no fighting.
There's no try. If you want, he gets.
Yeah, your cheeks
there ain't no try,
bro. I mean, how many punches you think he's gonna take?
One
in the face. How many punches you think he's gonna take?
I mean, his fist is the size of your whole head. So let's go ahead and just start there. So I mean, it's like getting hit in the face with your head.
Yeah,
with something the size of your head.
Yeah, you take one punch, you done.
It's like having a fucking 25-pound sledgehammer hit you in the face.
Yeah, for real.
What you take? You want to take the sledgehammer or you want to take my fist? Give me the sledgehammer.
You got a better chance of surviving the sledgehammer.
For real.
Forget it if that motherfucker starts hammer fisting.
Man.
Yeah, for real, bro. You gonna do whatever he asks you to do, bro.
You wake up with all kind of lumps on you. You want one lump or two?
Ric Flair and doing the car shield commercial.
No.
Yep, carshield.com, Ric Flair. Woo!
Hey, best believe if I do live after Brock Lesnar beat up on me, I'm not suing.
I'm suing the fuck out of him. Hey, one thing about it though, I don't care how big and bad you is, that paperwork gonna be a motherfucker, bro.
Hey, it is until he find you and then get rid of your ass. They gonna be looking for you in court like, where's Kane? Kane, where's Kane? Next thing you know, your ass in a farm getting chopped up.
That's a man that hunts, fishes. He butchers all his own meat.
Mm.
Let's just make him even scarier.
Yeah, for real, bro.
It's bad enough he's big and bad as fuck, let alone that he hunts and butchers all his own shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the world see it. The world see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That motherfucker could be a serial killer and no one would ever fucking question it.
Knew it. Or find it.
Hey, a lot of people would mind their own damn business.
Man, for real, I'm looking down. Hey, look, if I'm next to you, me and you like walk into the store and Brock Lesnar come and hack you, I'm gonna act like I don't even see you no more. I'm gonna mind my business. Ain't no need him get both of us.
I wonder how many of his daughter's boyfriends went missing.
Man,
hey, for real.
Man, that's crazy. Step outside with me, and you never see him again.
For real.
Let's go hunting. Wear this hat.
Now you never see him again.
Hat with horns, with antlers on it.
Dad, where's Brad at? Oh, he said he had to go home. He said he didn't want to see you no more.
Hey, yeah, he went home, all right.
Yep, he went to the upper room.
No, it's your students in the upper room.
The upper room, for real, bro. hey, bro, on for real shit. I gotta get out, bro.
That sounds like a personal thing there, buddy.
Yeah, they do.
No. Hey, I gotta get off the show right now, bro.
Oh, you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I gotta be up in the morning. So.
We all got to be up in the morning.
Yeah, we all do got to be up in the morning.
It's called life. Unless we die in our sleep, that's different.
And guess what, though? Guess what, though?
I thought Alex said Christian supposed to be on later
What's
on.
Up?
Guess what, though?
What's up?
Good night, y'all. I'm saluting.
Good night, brother.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good show. Good show. Everything cool.
NXT Black and Gold will always be the supreme brand.
Always be.
Top dog, baby.
And my socials are Can't Destroy You on everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Aren't you just on LinkedIn?
And guess what? And on Twitter, it is Can't Destroy You. Turning heel.
Aren't you on Linktree?
Linktree, yeah, I'm on Linktree.
Well, all you gotta do is just give you a Linktree and everything will be there.
Can't Destroy It, baby. On Linktree for the people that wanna engage. If you don't, it's cool too. Maybe you engage later.
Hey, basically said, if not, fuck you.
Linktree makes life easier, folks. If you go to I know we're all on Linktree. Joe BNCO on Linktree. When you go to Linktree, it'll have all of our different socials. When you go to our individual Linktrees, our Instagrams, our Facebooks, our X Twitter accounts, our Snapchats, our TikToks, all of it. YouTube, everything will be there on the Linktree, so you can click on which one you'd like to conversate with us at or see our content.
Yes, and then if you're on Call of Duty, it is Destroyer K. Baby!
You said Call of Duty, what?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Twitch too. I forgot about that.
My bad, Kane.
Call of Duty Mobile, motherfucker.
Hey, why don't you stream? Why don't you stream your Call of Duty Mobile on Twitch?
No, because I do it on TikTok.
So do it on Twitch and TikTok. You can do both, can't you?
Yeah.
I think you'll get a lot of following on Twitch because Twitch is a gaming streaming platform.
Yeah. Well, I'm out here, y'all. Y'all be good.
Have a good night, sir.
No promises.
All right.
Talk to you tomorrow. All right.
Well, where we go from here, brother man?
Let's go ahead and shut it down, man.
All right. Hey, this your boy, Mr. Plan 810. This is my boy, Joe BNCO. We just had to kick some knowledge to you all and everything. Those who watch it, cool, like, share, subscribe. For those who think about watching, check us out. Those are the haters who watching us. Hey, speak up. Put your grown man voice on.
Hey, also, don't forget, AEW started adding Dynamite to Tubi. So the first 2 or 3 years of Dynamite is on Tubi for free. If you want to catch the beginning for free on Tubi, you can catch the beginning of AEW, the beginning of Dynamite, and see how the company and the product has evolved. And also, Evolve is also on Tubi, so you can watch that as well.
You heard the man what he said. But anyway, we out. Hey, thank you for who liking us. I want to thank the people, our good people, the haters, and all that shit. Hey, keep your heads up. Let's make content better. Let's do better. We out.
Yeah. Tony. All right.
Hannah, I'm home.
Yeah, Mr. Overlook, sometimes double book. Most of y'all is overcooked. I'm raw like some sushi off in Noble down in Malibu. Hope you niggas catch the hook. Me and bro, we matching coops. I count money fast as fuck. I got shorty backing up and lapping up spectacular. Yeah, I'm from the A, I got a shotgun in my passenger. Yeah, I'm from the A, you know the standards, you ain't trap enough. In New York today, the way I spit, I can rap a bus. Starlet's got some fine shit. Harlem got some fine shit. Queens got some fine shit. Brooklyn got some fine shit. Can't forget about Candyland because it mine shit. They keep talking about they from the jungle. All that line shit. Line them up and cross them out. I'ma buy a gross amount. I'ma buy the grocery, but tell me who gon' tote them out. Making sure my family eat the riches in my family tree. Somewhere near a sandy beach. My girl Hermes headed